Hello, everybody. This is TheAljavis here, and welcome to the director's commentary for 2-1, where we talk about the ins and outs of production and how much we hate ourselves. And I'm not the only one who's here, so if you would like to introduce yourself from top to bottom.
I am a broken man. My name is Serenity. I'm one of the writers on this project. Shush, MV, this is my intro. I'm one of the writers on the project, and my thing is that I write out the planning, the episode structures, and plot out the mysteries that you guys love so much or hate. I don't know. Whatever floats your boat.
Oh shit, whose turn is it? Mine. Stupid bastard.
Oh, I see how it is. I don't get music for my intro.
I forgot to turn it on.
This is going really great. We should keep going.
Keep going.
Nonsense.
Yeah.
Just keep going, dude. Next, please.
All right. Okay. Hello, hi. This is me, known as MLPMV Guy, or MV, as everybody else calls me. I am the team leader for the animators. I am the post-production manager, meaning I manage both the animation side and the video editing side of the production. And I'm also that guy who appears in your basement, but apparently you completely ignore. Please feed me. For the love of God, please, bro. I am desperate. Holy shit.
Nice.
And I, also, by the way, Sonata Best Pony, Starlight Best Pony. Go fuck yourself. GG.
All right, then. And next, please.
This is me. My name is Jarvy Jared. I am one of the writers along with Serenity. My primary goal or role really in the writing department. I help write the first draft for these scripts. And my other role, which is pretty permanent for this particular episode, is I'm one of the musicians for Elements of Justice. And as we go through this episode, we'll actually be able to hear some of my earliest work. Yay!
Everyone's favorite.
My favorite.
I am the Soundman. This is me. I do everything. I'm so pretty. I'm so gorgeous. Darling, don't you just love me?
You are not real.
Shut up. Elements of Justice Director's Commentary is recorded in front of a live studio audience.
I wish.
You'll be dead.
I wish it was recorded live. That would be amazing.
I would love a live recorded DC.
But then we'd have to censor ourselves.
That is true.
We say stuff that has to be censored sometimes.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah, like Nick.
Yeah. So,
don't say that.
I would love to just watch an episode with like the fans asking us questions about it as we watch.
That'll be
just the premiere.
No,
yeah.
you can't
Isn't that just like a
live stream?
No.
That's a post-show live stream right there.
Well, yeah, that's essentially what that is.
This is a great intro.
All right. Okay.
This is the 2-1 director's commentary, everybody.
Yes.
I cannot wait till we get another 5 hours of this.
Yay.
Okay.
All right.
So we should start the episode?
Yes, we should start the episode. Hold on. Wait. Let me slowly fade out the music. There you go. That wasn't much fade. That was not much of a fade out, but I'll take it. There's not a lot of room to fade.
We're still professional.
All right, start the episode.
Start the episode now.
All right, stop the episode.
Okay.
On a dark
You should talk.
stormy night.
Serenity, do you remember this cutscene?
I do, because we spent how long doing this?
3 days.
All day.
We were arguing.
I was really glad that we didn't do this DC until a year later, because this would have been a screaming match at this part. Because boy, did I hate doing this shit. This was terrible.
I hated it too.
Yeah, okay.
I wasn't there.
I was there, and I watched the fucking chaos unfold.
Because I had my own interpretation of this cutscene, and at this point I don't even remember because it's been a good while.
Hey, Jesus!
What?
It's paused. You should make it sepia and have the music play when it's paused.
Oh, here's the music.
How can you tell if it's sepia? It's fucking black and white.
Oh shit!
You'll know.
I forgot. Oh wait, Wait, it didn't make a difference. Never mind.
Okay.
It's in black and white anyway.
So I forget whether it was the shots weren't numbered or they didn't have clear arrows, but there were many ways you could interpret what we got from our concept artist. And so we had 3 different interpretations, and it was a nightmare consolidating them into one that made sense that also fit the music.
Sounds like something else that didn't really help was the fact that we didn't know how long each storyboard was supposed to be on screen for. We all had different interpretations of that as well, not just the order.
Like, some shots would last 5 seconds, some would last half a second. It was crazy. Anyways, we fixed the organization on that, and now we are much better at cutscenes. But boy, this sucked.
To be fair, it was our first?
Technically,
As a team.
Yeah, as a team.
I think Aljavis, if I remember, Aljavis did the entire post-credit scene for Case 1 by himself, like storyboarding and everything.
Yes.
Well,
So he didn't really need... there was no confusion there. Also, the Case 1 post-credit scene is literally just guy walks up to prison cell, Sonal walks out.
Yeah, who's that guy? Who's that guy?
I don't know. Who could that possibly be? It's not like we'll be talking about him later.
Sounds like a loser. If you ask me, you know.
Anyway, he sounds like he's voiced by a loser as well.
Exactly.
A broken man, if you would.
Broken man.
Definitely broken.
Anyways,
A broken man, yes.
That's all I had to say about this.
All right.
I still hear the screams today.
God, I like. There's literally no room for me to fade because literally it's at like 5% at the YouTube player, so there's no fade at all. This is gonna go great. So yeah, this is a big step up from Case 1's opening cutscene, actual animation that I had to do in Paint Tool Side. This is before I used Clip Studio Paint for the cutscenes, and
we
that was a
actually
pain.
decided to use some cinematic angles and everything here.
Yep.
Jump scare.
Oh, this is me breathing. I'm the Timberwolf.
I totally forgot about
I don't
that.
remember that. I don't remember that. The hell?
Yeah, that's me.
I also like that little edit where the Timberwolf shadow slowly creeps up towards the pony, implying that he's getting closer without really showing him at all.
That's
And then we cut away, and then there's Nightmare Moon.
That is.
my mom.
And that's the goriest scene
And there we go.
in
All right, pause
EOJ
right
so
there,
far.
And then only
Well, okay. Don't pause, I guess.
Oh wait, go back.
Yeah,
Pause.
go back.
Right.
I wanted
All right.
to pause on that.
Yep.
First of all, I enjoyed being there when you drew that. It was fun.
Oh yeah. Oh wait, I didn't. Oh wait, I already did this transition. Wait, it was already in. Shoot. Oh whatever. Just go. Just go.
Where's the music?
Where's the sepia?
This is so
It's
frustrating.
not right anymore. You can do the sepia.
Yeah.
We're
People are gonna
professionals.
ask. People are gonna ask why we're doing this live instead of just editing it now.
Because technically, this is easier.
Yes.
But it's more prone to
know,
problems. But yeah, so you're gonna say?
Not elements of justice.
That's
without
some nice
trouble
music for this
production.
picture.
One thing I was going for with this introductory cutscene, because I really wanted to like emphasize the Timberwolf aspect of this case, because like we could have just done an intro cutscene where the killer murders the victim and that's it. I mean like that's just like a generic Ace Attorney cutscene though. So I wanted to do something a little bit different, and I wanted to highlight the Timberwolf attack aspect of this case, which got delved into later in episode 4 of this of the case. But yeah, I want to do something a bit unique that would hook the audience in a bit better than just showing a generic the killer and the victim standing in a field and one kills the other.
I mean, it also creates kind of an unknown factor because
it does,
it looks like
we cut away right when the Timberwolf is about to do something, so it's like, ooh, what happened?
Yeah. And then it shows the statue, and then it shows the castle, and then it shows this, and it's like, oh, wait a minute.
Also, I really like this shot because it really made an impression on people when it first showed up.
The reactions.
Everybody's reacted to this episode every time this comes up. They're like, "Oh my god, there's a hole in his head."
Oh my
I mean,
god.
we've had two
That's
other cases
the blood.
in. We've had Turnabout Storm, but we had Turnabout Theater. But like the victim was electrocuted in one, so there's no visible wound on the body, and he was hanged in the other. So again, no visible wound on the body. This is the first time we're actually seeing a wound.
Oh my
So
goodness.
I really wanted to focus on it.
Grimdark.
I will say,
Grimdark.
I'm a little disappointed because in the fact that we didn't go the extra mile and actually
Like show brain matter?
show Scooter stabbing the victim in the head. No.
Dang.
There's
Dang.
making an impression, and then there's just being grimdark. But I really feel like we could have upped the ante a bit by actually showing Scooter stabbing the victim in the head, because I feel like that would have been like really left an impact and would have been really powerful. But I mean, this is still good as is. I still feel like this is a very strong opening cutscene to this case.
That's one way to start an entire episode in an entire case. Give people nightmares. Let's go.
Well, it starts off with this contrast, though. I mean, starting off with a dramatic opening such as this, and then moving into scene one.
Ambiguous as to who the victim was.
Yes.
And the fact that we kept it ambiguous as to who the victim was is going to be important a bit later.
Definitely.
Ow, fuck.
So, is it good? You good to
Yeah,
good to move on
now.
Okay, here we go.
So anyway, back to the show.
Oh, this is you, Al, on the bass.
Yeah, this is a song that I made.
Oh boy.
It's the remake of Behind Closed Doors. That was originally from Turnabout Storm.
It's a song not many people might remember from Turnabout. Yeah. It only plays one time in Turnabout Storm, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, only one time with Twilight's discussion with Celestia.
But also, and you should take pride in this, this isn't like a computer bass.
This is not computer bass. This is a real life bass. I don't play bass a lot, but I made sure that I made the bass sound nice in this song.
Came out sexy. I love it.
Those sprites look very out of place now that we're 3 episodes past this one.
Yeah, I know. Like going back to the sprites is just jarring.
I can talk about that now.
All right.
Hey,
Let's
explain
stop
your-
right here.
Hi, Widget. Okay.
Pause on the wrong model.
That's fine. No one wants to look at those. Okay. So, back in 1.3, I had really high expectations going forward because everyone was psyching up Case 2, and I was so excited. And I saw the courtroom sprites that were 8-bit for Athena, and I was like, doesn't look too great. Wouldn't it be great if we could get those HD sprites we were working on in time? And I was scheming to get them done. I remember I was talking about like, we'll do the normal sprites later, but like we should focus on the judge and Athena since they'll be in the courtroom. So it's only 2 sprites we have to work on. Less workload, we can get it quicker. Like we can use True C's HD iOS from Apollo Justice sprites. Like figuring out any kind of way that we could get these sprites as soon as possible. And after a lot of time, it became apparent that it wasn't being worked on. Namely because Gion wasn't here at this time. He left for a bit. So, I forget what the website is, but James showed me it, and it had like image sequences of the 3D models. And then I saw the Turnabout team, and they had the 3D models, and I was like, okay, so there is a route you could take to get these 3D models and render them and use them. I'm gonna do that. So then I was working on 3D models during this episode and the next. Now I remember I wrapped up Apollo towards the end of 2.2, and had I been just like 2 or 3 months faster, maybe this could have been 3D sprites, and it could have been better fitting to change them at the start of the case instead of in the middle, but it came out good anyway. And all that said and done, these are not ugly.
They're serviceable.
They're very well made. The issue is that the style is incongruent.
It's inconsistent with the rest of the universe.
Yeah, and you could argue that the new ones are style incongruent, but they fit strokes and fills better than these. So, not bad sprites, but they don't fit our purpose or our art style. Yeah. That's really the end of it.
And technically, there wasn't really a requirement or a need so much as there was an aesthetic desire to change from sprite to this.
That's all it was.
We should take some credit in the fact that we decided to go that distance and decide on, let's do that. I mean, it'll take more work, but I think it's work that is well worth the effort and the wait.
Thank you.
I agree. I definitely agree.
Some people.
I actually like.
Section.
Yeah, you got my eyes on you.
I've never trusted the aesthetic sense of an average person, though. So
wow,
wow,
so.
Damn.
I don't trust the aesthetics of the average person. I don't trust the aesthetics of myself. So when people criticize the sprites by saying they look better than the 2.5D ones, it's a point of contention for me because I'm like, where's that basis of opinion come from? If it's just personal preference, that's fine. But declaring outright that the 2.5D ones are worse than the sprite ones, and not really giving an explanation beyond that, it's kind of just like, well, give me something better than that in terms of criticism. Especially since we work so hard on these, it's kind of invalidating in a way. I don't want to say it's necessarily something that makes the effort feel worthless in a sense. I think the effort itself is quite worth the reward, but it is kind of an annoyance to see some people make that kind of uneducated, ignorant, kind of like spur of the moment opinion and not go further with it. So
it was hard for me.
It's just a normal thing. It's just a normal human reaction. That just happens sometimes.
Yep.
It's a thing to get used to when you're a content creator, especially.
Yeah, everyone's a critic. You take what you can get.
Yeah. Anyways, before we move on, enough about the 3D shit. 3D shit is good. This isn't that bad. The widget voice is done in Melodyne, and it is close to the same effect that they used to get GLaDOS's voice, with shifting the formant and doing pitch correction.
So next time we should put GLaDOS's voice over Widget's voice.
Yeah.
Hi, Widget.
Hi, Widget.
Hi, Widget. That's all I had to say.
All right.
The mood matrix will now be operational in 3, 2, 1.
All right, let's move on.
Oh, excuse me, I'm having a cough. It's not cool.
Yep. Neat, isn't he? I'll say. I wasn't
Should we also talk about April Ann being Twilight?
Oh, man.
Right.
We're pausing a lot.
Pausing a lot already.
Don't worry, it's just the beginning. It'll get better later on.
We have to get the basic stuff out of the way.
All right.
Basics of the case.
So who was it that? So who was it? Who was it who brought in April Ann? Actually,
me.
Well,
and Serenity.
So how did that
sort
came
of
to be?
A joint effort.
Yeah.
So, well, first off, Webcake left us at the end of case 1 for personal reasons. So we needed to do Twilight VA for case 2. Now, the process for this is a bit complicated, so let me lay the groundwork here. So while we were first writing case 2, one of the things we were doing was putting in a lot of Milo investigation references because, well, not only do we want to pay homage to Milo investigations, but I also noticed when first reading TheAljavis's draft of case 2, I noticed that there were a lot of little nods, I say. I don't think they were actually intentional on TheAljavis's part, unless they were, in which case...
Great.
They weren't.
They weren't? Okay. But since I noticed that they were like there were little similarities in there, like, hey, why don't we make this case a bit of a homage to Milo Investigation's first and sadly only case. So we were putting all these little references across this introductory portion of the case, and it will continue as this case goes on. But one of the things we were like, man, wouldn't it be great if we could get April Ann, the voice actor of Twilight in Milo Investigations, into this case as well, since we were missing the Twilight VA. And I thought it would be cool, but I was like, there's no way. We're never going to be able to. First of all, we're never going to find her. Second of all, there's no way I doubt she's just still doing stuff like fan works. Soundman, was it you who found her?
Yes, she had a YouTube.
Someone found her. It wasn't me.
I found her. She had a YouTube channel where she posted a video 4 months ago at that time. She had contact information. We found her. We also found Trot Pilgrim and did outreach for him as well. They asked for permission to use his stuff.
Yeah, we tried to get Trot Pilgrim, but unfortunately he turned us down. He didn't.
Well, fair enough. People like making money.
Probably doing official work at this point.
Yeah. Anyways, it's not hard to get a hold of people, surprisingly.
Yeah. So
once you find a way to contact them.
Yeah, once
Shannon,
Soundman
where
had
they stand up
found
and
her,
ask, bro.
I shot her an email, like not actually expecting her to return a response, but literally the night that I sent it, she got back to me, and so she was like, "Yeah, totally, I'll be Twilight," and I was like, "All right, okay then." And I don't remember exactly what the process. I don't exactly remember what the process was of getting her into the team after that point, but I just know that we were all super stoked upon hearing that, and she is Twilight for this episode and the episodes to come.
Yep.
Yummy.
So is that all you're gonna say?
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, that's pretty much the bulk of it. Is that like it all started with the fact that this case had MLI references in it, and it's just fun to do. Hey, let's see if we can get the MLI voice actor for Twilight.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, let's move on.
Bless you.
Well, Widget is my
Thank
personal
you.
AI companion and a portable computer that I use in court. His functions include taking notes, reviewing evidence, and assisting me in analyzing people's
Damn, bro, is that the Steam Deck?
So he's like a living notebook.
What? Widget Steam Deck?
Yeah.
I guess that's
Bruh.
one way of describing him. Interesting.
Does Widget count as VR?
Analyze people's emotions.
No, AR.
Yo, yeah, I
An
mean,
ARG?
No.
Basically an ARG. He's kind of creepy.
no.
The data I hear into a program called the Mood Matrix, and that way, I can see what emotions the witness is experiencing.
Wait, Discord? I have a friend in Discord.
Hey,
I hope
Yeah.
Discord shows up in our series, guys.
Oh
Hey,
boy.
Shut up.
kindly, do not ask for
Nothing
Discord.
will ever get solved if he's involved.
In a series based fundamentally on logic, it makes no sense to use a character whose full function is defy logic.
Yeah.
No matter how much people want him,
Actually-
it's just not.
But I mean, speaking of the Discord joke, that's something that TheAljavis had in his original script of this case, right? I believe
That
it
was.
So should we talk about the differences between this scene and the original scene?
Oh yeah, I think we should. There are a few differences when it comes to this scene
How it begins.
and how scene 1 of case 2 began. So like there is that. So the Discord joke was in. The Apollo Buck joke is surprisingly still in this episode.
You gotta put in all the silly
I don't know
jokes.
how that made. I don't remember how did that make it in here?
Because you didn't want to keep the Fresh Prince one, so we fought you on all the silly jokes that Al made. I don't know either. It's been so long, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could say we turned your expectations upside down.
Yeah.
Turning Page got into one little fight, and his mom got scared.
Who's Turning Page? I don't know who that is.
I'm sorry.
We've never
Spoilers.
met anyone like that.
I can't remember. Well, I mean, this is probably something I talk about at the end of the scene, but in terms of just like what the function of the scene is,
It still retains the same function.
Yeah, it retains the same function, but like the overall function is what exactly? To expose MLP to Ace Attorney.
Yeah.
in a stronger
Really,
fashion.
the only thing it serves is to just be like, hey, why don't we have the main six and the rating agency just have a moment where they just interact with each other that isn't related to, like, you know, the actual plot of the story.
Yep. Yeah,
Just
that's
have them
exactly
have them be just hanging out. Just hang out.
that's exactly
See
what I did
see
in
what they do
the
when they have nothing else on their minds.
original script too. So like I paired. Well, I guess does it count as pair because it's 3 at a time? But whatever. So I had
Grouped would be the word. you
group.
want
Sorry,
for-
Gary. I had Athena grouped with Twilight and Fluttershy because smarts and animals. You know, psychology stuff. I had Apollo with Rainbow and Applejack. They're the headstrong, kind of the. I don't know, Bob. I guess Applejack will be normal, the most normal out of the
AJ.
6. AJ, that too. and also the brashness of Rainbow Dash, the raspy voice of her, the chords of steel of Apollo. So, and Shrusi has Pinky and Rarity, like the elegance of Rarity and the happy joy of Pinky, the fun one. That's why I paired them the way I did, unfortunately being a loner. But yeah, that was my
to be fair,
intention for
Phoenix
each
already
one.
had his time to interact with the rest of the main six.
That is true. So like it was the Right Anything Agency's time to like meet up with their kind of like their split personalities with each other in some weird sense. It's like it's them split into two. That's my logic when it comes to grouping them together. Oh yeah, that's all I gotta say.
And my only issue looking back on this scene is that it really is
It's
too
so long. Yeah.
It's like 10 minutes.
I think that's like a few people's criticism with this scene.
Especially
it is a
after
bit
that
long.
opening. Like we then cut to this and we spend 10 minutes on it. It's like it kind of gets excruciating, especially the part between Rainbow, Applejack, and Apollo.
Yeah, that one's a bit long.
That one's the worst because it literally is just like, hey, remember this episode happened, and then this episode happened, and then this episode happened.
Yeah,
like the other two groups with Twilight, Fluttershy, and Athena,
They were shorter enough, and you can make
they're
tongue-in-cheek
much
reference
shorter
without it becoming like
I mean, they actually
yourself.
talked about their actual, they actually expressed their characters. They didn't just talk about things that happened to them.
Yeah. But yeah,
It was a
I
kind of
think
necessary sacrifice, though, because we needed that kind of downtime to kind of reestablish things. But at the same time, it comes, of course, with the cost of it's a 10-minute scene of nothing happening until something happens.
I feel like we could have at least cut it a little bit, but
We do what we do.
Yeah, we live and we learn. Speaking of that, let's keep going before it turns into another 5-hour episode. Yay.
you feel like you're preventing that. You're not.
I'm pausing with that time limit, but it's not really doing much, honestly. We're still only at barely 4 minutes.
3 minutes.
Do you have any pets?
This is gonna be forever.
Well, we could always do 2 times speed. No, don't. That's kind of gross.
You do? So do I. Do you have any favorites?
Shoutouts to Viola for this banger background.
Oh, absolutely. Viola did an amazing job with this background.
Show accurate looking ass background.
Unlike the background in episode 1, which doesn't even show us the thrones, despite the fact that the characters talk about them. TheAljavis.
Use your imagination.
Lol.
I mean, if you like to meet them.
God, hearing Fluttershy talk is weird because she just vanishes for days after this point.
What I meant was,
Like we've gone to episode 4 and she's still
Not
gone.
here.
Surprise rigs.
It's good to see that Tanya's making new friends.
This was before the Great Reordering.
Yep.
Shut the fuck up. Don't you dare remind me, you son of a bitch.
We'll talk
Should we-
about that later.
We can talk about that another time. We'll talk about that another time.
But
We'll be here forever if we do.
I also don't want to spoil this experience for Athena and Shrusi. From the looks of it, they seem to be having a lot of fun.
Oh, you'll be fine. Nix was exactly like that the last time he was here.
This is the first time Rainbow's
Don't you fret nothing.
talked since the first episode. I
Yeah.
think it is.
Yes.
So, did she get a new voice act? No, wait, no.
No, it was still
Cadet.
it was
We
still
should talk about Cadet. That was Cadet.
Oh yeah, we should totally talk about Cadet. Cadet is
Cadet's-
literally the best Applejack I've ever heard. I
It's so smooth, like southern butter.
oh my god, like her voice as Applejack. She's like the smoothest, most. Literally, this is like the kind of her Applejack is literally the kind of voice where I would happily, fall asleep and I'll not worry about a thing. Like her voice,
It's very
her Applejack is so
homely and,
warm.
What's the term? It's homely. It's personable. That's the word
Yes.
I'm looking for. Very Applejack.
Very Applejack.
Cool-headed for the most part.
He muted, which means we're stuck in this infinite time loop at this
Oh, no.
frame.
Oh no.
Okay, so how many things can we say about Applejack? One, she's awesome.
Man, she's my favorite background pony. Hooray for dead memes.
Isn't this coming from the Rainbow Dash fan? That's kind of
2011 called Serenity. It wanted its meme back.
2011.
Speaking of 2011, I mean,
I wish I
had like right here.
back then.
I don't know. I mean, Applejack's pretty alright. Emphasis on alright. But you
Applejack always dresses in style.
the fact that you got that wrong, even intentionally, makes me want to literally extract your soul from your body and then
And
vanish.
you come up with the greatest insults. Never change.
You're
Keep being
welcome.
creative.
You
You're
are creative,
welcome.
dude.
Now
Oh, you're back. Good. We don't have
Alright.
Applejack.
Now have fun with your nervous system being removed. Okay.
Disintegrate into background pony.
All right. So, anything else you want to talk about? With
Cadet's
Cadet?
great. Applejack's great. It's all great.
yes.
It's all good, man.
Okay.
An apple farmer. I spend most of my time bucking trees at Sweet Apple Acres. My family's apple farm.
Wait.
Wait, Buck.
Oh my god. Even, even I cringe at this the joke.
Giving them trees
Because Apollo.
and knocking all them apples down.
It's like you can tell you wrote it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how you know that it's. I even think that chuckle that he made was just added. That Web Shutter did.
That was Web Shutter slowly cringing behind the microphone.
Yeah.
All those apples by yourself?
This part was probably largely not needed of the dialogue between AJ, and RD.
Yeah.
Especially this part, like
Maybe
I think
this
it's a cute
one
reference.
reference is fine.
Applejack are digging at each other, but like, can we have them dig at each other in a way that's just not like episode recaps?
Yeah. But I came around eventually. Thanks to my friend.
What shocks me the most about the creation of this episode, even though it's already passed at that point, is having literally getting almost everyone back,
Really?
almost all the voice actors back.
Oh yeah, because as I was saying earlier, Kimmy, this is the first time Kimmy has been able to voice act since episode 1.
Yeah.
I don't doubt it.
What was the
The Rainbow
gap
Dash
between
voice
episode 1 and
improved,
this
I'd say.
episode? 3
What's up?
years?
It's like it was a couple years.
Like
Jesus.
3-4 years. 3-4 years.
Jesus Christmas.
I
Mary
was
Joseph.
in a terrible development hell stuff thing.
That will never happen again.
I will make sure that it never happens again. Because that development hell was painful.
I like the fact that it showed up on TV tropes.
I'm
I don't know why,
glad.
I feel like that's very validating for some reason.
That
Yeah.
is very validating.
TV trope says it.
It's true. Yeah.
By the way, TV tropes, we love what you do.
TV tropes hasn't actually updated a lot about the series since episode 4 came out.
Yeah.
Well, that's because we haven't had an episode since episode 4
So I
came
mean,
out.
like even
What?
episode 4 itself didn't really
Oh, they didn't really add too much to it.
cause much of a stir on TV tropes.
Well, they added a few returning things, I know that, but
Yeah,
only
we
a
had
few.
a few things, but not that much.
Well, I'm not sure what much could you add to that.
Yep. I do what I call my cords of steel.
That was a cute Applejack model expression. I don't think
Yeah.
I've seen that before.
Welcome. You're welcome.
It's
She's
rarely
very round.
used. It's just I said before that that I wanted all of these poses to be exactly the exact poses that were used in Turnabout Storm.
For me all the time.
Actually, wait.
My name is Apollo Justice.
Was this the episode? I kind of forgot because it's been fucking forever, and I know I'm the one who revamped every single pose that exists for these characters. But was this around the development of Case 2 or like after 1-3 ended? because I actually kind of forgot. I'm gonna be real.
Well, all of these posts were already done.
They were done, except it just meant that I revamped every single last one of them to fit with our current models.
No, this is before the Great Reordering.
No, I didn't do that. I did that before the Great Reordering, bro.
Oh, I don't remember actually. Maybe it was during this time.
All I know is that I revamped every single last one of these poses. That was originally in the very first episode.
There you go. Now, how do you feel?
Like my throat.
Actually, looking at this scene, I feel like this is the scene that's like the least changed between all of your original scripts, AlJavis, and the final product.
That was louder than the buffalo stampede. I don't
Oh,
think
is
It'll
it?
be like
Actually, now thinking about it, it probably is.
Because
Good stuff. Now, this
like
is
every other scene, like even the second half of case one with the trial, even the scenes after this one, all of them are like so drastically different from like what you originally wrote. This is like the one I feel like is the most intact.
Like I specifically remember this line in the original script.
That background.
Yeah, we get to move around the background.
No, she said it looks like it's cutting off at the very end. This is the
Arts.
All right, we gotta talk about arts. We gotta talk about arts.
All hail arts.
Counter up in the corner for the number of characters that she voices.
Let's see. Rarity.
Yeah, nice frame.
So she voices Rarity.
There we go.
She voices Sweetie
AB.
Belle. She voices
AB.
Bloom.
Apple Bloom.
Silver Spoon.
She voices Silver Spoon.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's all I can say without spoiling the
Yeah, no,
rest.
there's more, but we can't
There's
say.
more, but we can't say yet.
So it's 4 characters. That's 4
And
characters.
they're
That's a lot of
accurate.
lines.
They're very accurate.
Yeah.
God, I love her Apple Bloom. It was
Oh, her
I
Apple
remember
Bloom is
when I
amazing.
first heard it, I was like, Michelle Creeper?
Yeah.
Is
And
that
when
you?
I heard her rarity, I'm like, Tabitha? Like,
We've
her-
actually attracted the actual voice actors. We've made it, guys.
I know, right? But yeah, MLPArts is like, oh my goodness, like, what
She's
an
very talented.
she's such an amazing asset to the team. Like, and whenever like someone's sick or something, like someone like say Kimmy, for example, she did have COVID one time. And
she was
couldn't
RD. We forgot to mention she was RD.
Yeah, she was
I
RD,
RD.
and then she ended up being RD for a little bit of 2-4. So yeah,
Wait, don't you mean Kim?
yeah, she's so whenever like there's someone like out of commission for a little bit, she's our backup. And
She
her
is
work ethic
great.
is awesome. Her work ethic is also awesome.
impressive. It is
She's our wild card. She
Yeah.
can literally be
admirable.
anything.
Yeah, and I also want to mention if you noticed, Pinky also sounds different. PBW was voicing Pinky for this episode and the next one. Mainly because
Thank you.
Otis Cat, she was away for a little bit, so she couldn't voice her at the time, which is why we need which is why it's actually really important to have like VAs that can also voice act the other characters as backups. So like that's it's just nice to have. We love backups.
Also, I like seeing the fixed Rarity rig.
Somewhat, yeah. I can see it fixed. The horn is not humongously huge.
Her mane is in the right place.
Yes.
Not hanging. She's
sorry,
very happy about that.
Yeah. All right. Let's.
I mean, she is happy. Look at her. She's just staring. You'd be like, oh.
Don't ruin her, man.
Don't do that
Don't ruin
again.
her.
Let's go now before it gets ruined.
Hey, get that music out of here. Yeah.
I see you learned it even as a child. How did you learn to perform magic in your world? Of sorts? Yep. My dad daddy taught me everything I know.
Oh no, I know
Quality joke here. Quality joke.
exactly what's coming.
You can tell exactly who wrote it too.
Serenity, gosh, fine, we'll give you credit for every joke you write.
I did not write it. Aljavis
You
is
wrote
the
it.
one who wrote it.
You love gay jokes.
No, I didn't.
Oh, you don't love gay jokes? Okay.
Oh gosh.
This fucking bastard.
When he vanished, Phoenix became my new daddy.
We're 40 minutes in the recording, by the way.
Did that.
That's a great sign.
So, your birth father vanished.
What's the? Oh my god, we're only like 11 minutes in.
It's kind of a long story. I'm not really sure how I'd begin to explain it.
Then explain it. Explain so. Oh wait, that's in a separate episode.
Wow.
Harry Potter reference or something. I don't know. Just shit.
It is in Harry Potter, in fact.
It's good to see that Trucy's also making friends here. Speaking of,
Please just find Trixie already, bro. Please.
we're okay.
Trixie doesn't exist. She's just a construct of your imagination.
There's nothing I can really do about that.
You alright there, Phoenix?
Oh look,
Fucking
it's Spike.
Spike.
He actually gets to be used.
God, he's so big.
I know he's Barney
he's
size.
He is a big boy.
Front-facing Spike is kind of cursed.
Hey, maybe this is why we had the great reordering.
Shut up! Shut up!
Adopted an amazing
Also, did we get a new Spike?
No one's gonna
did we
get
a new
that
Spike
yet.
No.
What's up?
age of the law.
Did we get a new Spike VA?
No, we didn't.
No.
It's still,
Okay.
it's still Sassy Sora. Probably one of the best, probably the best like, Spike VAs.
Really?
And it's not, and he's actually male. He's the rare Spike VA that's actually male and sounds like Spike.
Struggles with finding opportunities to take a break from her royal duties. This is the first time in a while since I've seen her so laid back. And Twilight's able to relax. Then I think you should take.
Aw, that's a cute pose.
Oh,
Yep.
it is adorable. It's like he's asking for a hug.
Aw, he deserves it. You know, he doesn't deserve anything bad in his life.
Phoenix just turns him down. Phoenix, you're a monster.
Yep.
He wants to end the series early.
I'm supposed to be the boss.
That's a fair point, you know.
Phoenix is like, I know what this is going to become. We need to get out of here while we still can.
We need to get out of here before the shipping begins.
Right as everyone's getting to know each
It's too late.
Don't talk about shipping. Shipping. You're an episode early for the shipping.
Want to go back? How about it? Twilight just sends you home first.
No, I can't leave without them. I have to look after them, especially Trucy.
You're pretty dead set on leaving, aren't you?
Don't get me wrong. It's great having a chance to come back and meet you all again. But I just can't relax when I know there's a chance that a client could...
Fucking Godzilla looking ass Spike. Oh my god.
Send you all home.
Thanks. Athena, follow.
Which Godzilla are we talking about?
You're gonna make me die on coffee saying that shit, MV.
I think it's time for us to head home.
What?
That was a lot of light bulb sound effects. That kind of hurt.
No,
Yeah.
I think that there could be a potential client at the office that needs our help.
Oh, come on. You're being paranoid.
I'm sorry, Trucy, but we shouldn't be taking any chances with this. We still have to find a way to pay the bills by the end of the month. And our clients...
Hey, that's in reference to the first episode.
Sources of income we have.
Jesus Christ, Phoenix, you're destitute?
I mean, chances of a client knocking at our door.
Maybe he should apply for unemployment.
There's still a chance.
I mean, I don't know why
Maybe he
didn't
should.
when he was a hobo for
Damn,
8
God.
years.
As much as I
God.
want to, we can't.
Aww.
Party pooper.
Party
Party
pooper.
pooper.
I'm sorry.
But you know, I'm glad this is where the episode ends. You know,
Yeah,
We don't
yeah,
have to
this is
sit
when the
here for another
episode
3
ends.
hours to make this director's
Can
commentary.
you imagine
Yeah.
continuing to write this case for another year?
I know, right?
Oh heck no.
Just end it. You know, Turnabout Storm was
Yeah.
5 episodes. 3 episodes is pretty good, you know.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's fine enough.
Oh, this reeks like cupcakes.
Cupcakes don't reek.
It don't taste bad, and...
I've heard the bloopers of this about 100 times, and I love all of them.
Yep.
Okay.
I remember that being in the original script too.
It was lovely to see you again, Phoenix. And it was absolutely splendid to meet the rest of you as well.
Fritz is about to grace us with her vocal cords.
So, are you all ready?
We're ready.
Also, Serenity, I do have a good question for you after the scene ends.
It was.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I guess we'll see you all another time. Goodbye.
What are you talking about?
I remember that from the trailer.
There's still episodes
Yep.
left of this series, probably.
Yeah, this is exactly how it was in the end of Turnabout Storm. But of course, this is different.
Trailer line.
Best Crusader.
That was
plot
originally
can
Spike
start
doing that, and not
finally.
Apple Bloom.
What's going on?
Oh yeah, we're about to talk about the biggest change this case has had. Between
We'll
this
get
and
to
the
that
original
big
version.
change when we get there. But this is one of the
Yep,
this,
and it
this is one of the
just
bigger
fell on.
changes that was different from the original script. Apple Bloom showing up instead of Spike.
But we gotta find
3.
out. Come on.
Wait, I'm so
4.
confused. What's going on? Are we not leaving yet?
Nope.
We
5.
got 5.
Without anything by just standing here.
You already know what I'm gonna say.
Everyone, vamonos.
Yeah,
I do.
everyone.
Okay.
In fact,
Okay.
I do a comment
Big.
or something like
Yeah. Okay. So,
Wanna pause
lucky
here?
commenter who gets his critique mentioned.
Hold on, I responded to said comment. Let me go find it.
Fuck.
Okay. Without to reiterate, so that people understand what we're talking about, there was a comment that was posted recently that I read that had a fairly decent point about the pacing, and they were complaining about the scene dragging on, but then they explicitly mentioned how she's like, "Okay, let's go. We gotta go. No time to explain." And then there's 6 lines of dialogue after that before the scene transition. And I was like, "That's a good point. That's a good point." Yeah.
That is a very good point.
And I agreed with them. I was like, yeah, we hold on, where's the comment? I need to actually read what I wrote out.
If he took it down and he cannot be referred to for street cred, sad.
He lives on in our hearts.
We read your comments,
We read comments.
yeah.
Don't think-
even the Gringe ones.
Here it is.
Even the sus
later-
ones, right?
later-
You're posting your shit in public.
Later elasticus. Sorry
I mean,
if I
it's
said
true.
that wrong.
Shout out
Yeah,
to Layer
he,
Lucas.
Yeah, but we really do read everyone's comments, even if whether it be positive or negative. We read them all because we just can't help it.
Yeah, so he was saying that he wasn't sure, he was not familiar with the Ace Attorney games, so he's not sure if this is a problem that exists in the Ace Attorney games. It is. But it's more of I took note of what he said. Like, yeah, I realize it's more of a problem here because unlike the Ace Attorney games, which don't have voice acting, so you can just quickly move through the dialogue at your pace. Here, you don't.
You can't.
To move at your own pace with the dialogue. You have to wait for the voice actors to say the line while the line is displayed on screen. So you can read ahead and see the entire line and be like, all right, come on, let's go. But you have to wait, first of all, for them to finish saying the line. And in this moment here, it's everybody has to react to it before moving on. And it's it's a real problem. And it's also it becomes an issue also when there's an egregious amount of flashbacks because, again, you have to wait for the voice actors to say the line all over again instead of just reading it like you did in the Ace Attorney games.
That was an audio drama. Damn.
This is definitely something we're cutting down on in more recent episodes is the amount of
Fluff.
amount of extra reactions, amount of flashbacks, etc. So that we can actually, first of all, make the episode shorter for once, but also so that it's paced better and we actually get to the content that people want to see faster. So thank you for your constructive criticism. Later elasticus.
We love you.
Your kind of comment is what I would love to see more of in our comment section because it's very helpful.
Yes. Anyways, this background got remade because it's overly simplistic due to a miscommunication question mark.
I think it's a misunderstanding.
I know
Misunderstanding because
I know it was that the reference that she was given was far away, so the level of detail was less, and then they misconstrued it that we want it in this style.
yeah.
But it's all fair and good.
Simplistic as it is, I mean, I still think it works. But I do understand the criticism that Viola had for what she did.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Anyways, while our DC is broken down, who wants to talk about something? Oh, there he is.
Fine, of course.
I'm still
Hello?
here. There's
Exactly.
just a lot of noise in the background.
Okay, I guess we're done with this.
I mean, yeah.
I have something to talk. I have something to talk about as soon as
Sorry, MV. What do you have to say?
As soon as a certain character comes up, yes.
Oh, okay.
I love the crowd ambience.
What happened?
Suspense.
Oh no! Are we too late? Where is... Oh! There she is! Huh?
All right, let's stop on this frame here.
Oh no! It's the infamous guard!
No, we have to wait a few lines before we can call him Guard
need
2.
to talk about Shannon.
Jeez, why are you saying it like it's an apology video on YouTube?
I'm just making sure that there is no one around. Okay, whatever.
It's
But
be-
yeah,
It's because Shannon couldn't join us for this
Yeah,
DC, and
she couldn't join us for this DC. Shannon, if you're watching this, we love you.
Beyond any and all
Oh,
control.
we miss you,
Join
Shannon.
us for this director's commentary of her debut episode.
I'll miss you.
Whatever.
But
Who does she
yeah,
play?
Shannon,
Who's Shannon again?
she's
played
not
Guard
here.
2.
Shut
She's-
up!
She's off
Everyone's
doing
favorite
something.
character.
But yeah, Shannon getting to the team with just as the Scootaloo voice actor, and then she blew up into being everything else. Like
It
she's
was
literally like the
Literally
only
team.
she's like the only other person that comes close to the amount of roles that I do. Like she's like one away from like being equal to me.
Yeah, she's
Wow, being equal to you.
Yes.
What a way to put it.
Yes.
what a way to put
Yes. All of you are nothing to me.
it. Wow.
We are.
Wow, go
Wow.
fuck yourself. I'm out of this team.
We are worms, worthless worms. Memo to me: name you after my meeting.
If there's one thing I would like, if there's one thing I can describe Shannon coming onto this team, it was like God himself decided to roll the dice, play an RNG game, and then it's like, all right, I'm gonna shine my light on this basement thing over here. And then Shannon came over here.
And she died
how we
for
did.
our sins and rose again on the third day, as according to the scriptures.
Yep.
Yes.
I want to
Yes.
mention this about
That's
her
her
audition.
origin story.
I want to mention something about her audition. One thing we did different with the auditions that like we actually did callbacks. For the whenever we choose a voice actor, we choose the ones that we think will have potential. It's kind of like giving the VAs like a second round. And that's exactly what we did with the Scootaloo, not just the Scootaloo VAs, but also the rest of them. Shannon was almost beaten by MLPArts.
Almost?
Yeah, almost. MLPArts almost beat her, and I told Shannon this like that the slight raspiness and the slight tone of her voice, it was just enough for her to get the Scootaloo role. And I
God bless.
I mentioned this to Shannon, and she was shocked that she beat MLPArts. And, oh my god, what that was clutch, because like she did so much for us after beyond like this episode. Like she's
She helped
awesome.
on the models.
She helped on she helped on the models, the 3D models. She helped with the 2D
She's a background
rigging.
artist, team
She's a
leader
background
now.
artist. She's our team leader for background artists. She does the animation. She does the rigging. What else is this woman?
She sings, which wasn't in her contract.
That's just implying we have a contract. What?
Yeah, an eternity of servitude you get in the credits.
You get in TheAljavis's basement.
All right, fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
Fair contract. Also, Several Days is muted. Can you kindly push play if he still hears? Unless anybody has a second.
Trace the origin of the thing.
Shush. We don't talk about that.
Oh, can we talk about the unintentional comedy in this scene?
Oh,
Wait
yes,
for
we
it.
can. We can. We have to wait for it.
Oh,
Please, I didn't do anything, I swear!
That's enough. Get inside the
Oh,
camera.
hi, Destro.
Hey, best character.
yeah,
Why do people hate him?
Now.
I don't
because
know.
they can't rise up to him.
No one can rise to guard number 2's
Yeah.
status.
I will only ask you this once.
Also, this is a really good dramatic scene. I love it.
Yeah,
It
it's
is.
amazing. It's intense.
Too bad the music
I
is
think it's
watered down
dramatic
because
too.
it's from a rip.
This is literally the moment that people hated this character.
Yeah, but he's right.
He's
Also,
technically right.
get ready.
That
Yeah.
was the whole point, is that he was right.
Pause.
All right.
I want this fucking sound effect erased from the mega. It sucks.
What?
He runs like he's dragging his feet.
I know.
Oh, the dragging feet one. And then Julius
it again.
interpreted it, and Julius interpreted it as like
Yes.
like being tired. What?
Yeah,
What's
play it
going on
again.
here?
No. This is something that happens a lot in this particular scene.
What's going on here?
Oh my god. Okay. So he is 40 seconds late because he has one working lung and he's 60 years old. I love this character.
So
He's got Oxford shoes and he's running.
Phoenix left his luggage and can't get home.
I guess Sweetie Belle also borrowed them for 2-3, considering that sound effect was used again there when she fucking ran.
Didn't we scrub that from the final cut? Please tell
No, we
me.
didn't. I swear to God.
No.
It's there. Is it in there? I remember.
I guess we'll find out in 2 weeks. We'll find out in 2 weeks.
All right.
Anyways. A lot of unintentional humor in this scene. Thank God for Julius. He's
Also,
amazing.
I want to point out, there's a lot of little things in this scene that went very differently to how they were supposed to be written. That first one is there with Phoenix like being exhausted and like running up to the scene all tired.
Winded and
That was
everything.
not the intention of. That was not how we wrote it originally. He was just supposed to say like, "Oh, what's going on?" But Julius gave us an exhausted voice line. We were like, "Oh, well, what do we do with this?" Add running sound effect.
Just make it into a comedic moment.
Where did we get that running sound effect from?
Yep.
It was from SOJ.
I don't know.
Jesus Christ.
The worst sound effect.
The Minecraft running sprinting sound effect is probably a stronger sound than that. Like if you double tap W when you're running across like wooden planks, it's probably better. In fact, why is
what we
Phoenix?
should do is double
Why
tap
is the sound
running across dirt?
He's running across dirt, but he's making it sound like he's running across like cobble or something.
Yeah.
You work with
Cobble
what you
hurts
have.
horse hooves.
Yeah. Horse hooves are shoes, bro. They're just wearing.
Yeah, that's why you put horseshoes on horse hooves when you go to run a cobble, because it doesn't wear it down as much.
Yes.
The infrastructure of Equestria is janked because it abuses anatomy. Reform? Reform? Down with the
Have you seen Lyra sit? That's my question.
Just blame that because it's a cartoon show. Just blame that. Might as well just fucking pin it all on that.
Let's keep going.
This is going to be 7 hours again. Like, let's just
It
face
will.
it.
It will be. It totally will be 7 hours again.
It's gonna be 3 hours. Jesus.
I'm not ready for another 7-hour DC.
No one has to edit it this time. That's the advantage.
That's the one advantage, but it's gonna look so
it could go up
jank.
today.
Of committing a murder in the Everfree Forest last
No, yeah, that's not going to age well, I guarantee.
She's just a
Who's Pete?
Hey,
There's no way she
I'm the Somniac music. The first track from that game.
Damn, Scooter's got some really long eyebrows.
Oh my god.
Oh, Cyclops.
Oh my god.
You're a liar.
Cyclics.
About not being in the Everfree Forest? But why?
Stop right there!
Turning page.
It's a lad.
And all right.
No, wait, not yet, not yet. I wanna show. Let's show more of him first.
Let her go!
All right, fine.
Go play in the woods. The worst thing he could have said.
Let's see how you like this!
Hey, put me down, kids. You little rat. Are you trying to do it as well?
Yes.
Like you make me sick. What right do you have to bear the armor of Her Highness?
What?
Now, let Miss Scootaloo go.
Are you threatening a member of the Royal Guard?
Bitch, I'm the son of a royal guard, you sick fuck.
He's just carrying the other guard just casually.
No, I want to talk about
And
that.
then this.
I want to talk about that.
All right, pause. I want to talk about that.
All right.
Bro.
So, in the script, we had it so that turning page would lift up one of the two guards to just show that he has more. He's strong with magic, but we obviously it didn't. I don't know how if it didn't just process to us that obviously it would be very difficult to animate or what, but it made it into the final script. So the trouble came how do we show that that's what's happening in the episode without actually physically animating it? And so we just had it so that turning would grab we would show him start up his magic animation, which is really just the first few frames of him swinging his sword. But before it actually shows up, so that you can't tell that. We tricked you. But then the issue came okay, but the problem is that he then has a line of dialogue where he's supposed to still be floating this guard up off screen, but he doesn't have a talking animation where he's just using his magic. So that then turned into okay, well, guess he has to have his sword out while he's floating this guard with his magic. Then the issue came to be okay, so the point where the guard was being dropped was supposed to be when he ran away at the end of this scene, but we had to move that up to here because Turning has to say a bunch of stuff to Phoenix, and he's not just going to have his sword out the whole time because that doesn't look right. So this comedic moment happened where the guard just suddenly gets dropped,
picks him up and then drops him unceremoniously.
Yeah, because all of this is because Turning does not have a talking animation where he's using his magic.
Yes. We like being creative with comedy.
Quick question.
This is how scenes can change between what the script says and then what the final product actually ends up being.
That's funny. Whatever.
All right, so are we done with this?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think.
All right. So
All right, bro.
Let's move on.
I have something to say as soon as he does a certain thing. Got him.
Your stone is mine, you villain. You can't defeat me.
Oh no, that's my Magnetata.
My Magnamata.
My Magna Carta.
Oh, guard 3, best character.
Take on this many. This isn't over. You hear?
Hey, give me back my Magnetata.
Magnamata.
The Magnamata. That sound effect.
There's that
All right, I got something to say.
What's up?
The turning page, and I guess apparently the animation thing for this episode specifically, and I guess it's basically all right. Pause.
Oh, all right.
Fucking bruh. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. I had two notes more specifically for this, but I guess this one I'll just try to condense it into one big thing. That is the animation, and on the pony side for case 2 specifically. Okay. All right. And back in 1.3 or whatever. Back in 1.3, okay, TheAljavis gave the warning of, oh hey. Or maybe TheAljavis is ready. Gave the warning of, oh hey, so case 2 is gonna have a bunch of rando idiots this time. Now we're gonna have a lot more rigs in this case. And
yes,
initially, because at the time, the only animators here was just me and Age. So yeah, that kind of caused a bit of an animator burnout, but we still made it through at the end. And right,
mm-hmm.
But but this is also when when Shannon apparently decides to clutch this time around. All right, all right. And at this time, right, this is when Shannon was still a voice actor, and she said, "All right, I'm taking animation classes. So how about I help with animation a bit, right?" And at the time, I was hesitant because this would be woman one. I don't know. I don't think there was anybody else really willing to teach except for Age, I guess. But that's then, I guess. I don't know, right? And two, I haven't taught anybody how to do animation before in the history of ever. Never, ever. I've never done this before, ever.
Yep.
So initially, right, and the rigs that are here, that are Scootaloo, Apple Bloom, and every other person. All right, yeah, Age made the bases, of course. I made the base for Turning Page and all the poses and animation for Turning Page. So it's like, yeah, whatever, right? But most importantly, right, people like Apple Bloom and Scootaloo, and also a couple others, that was by Shannon. Those were all made entirely by Shannon. And, all right, and this for me was a worrying experience because, I mean, one, I was already getting burnt out from animating this many stupid fucking cartoon horses at one time, and B, I didn't know how to teach anybody. I didn't think I had the skill for that. I didn't think I had the courage to do that. I didn't think that would ever happen, right? So I was just worried, scared, all that crazy shit, all that stupid anxiety shit. You get the idea. But I did manage to teach Shannon in the best I could. I did manage to teach Shannon the as much as I know, et cetera, and she delivered something beautiful. She delivered these great.
She surely did.
Yes, and she has been an actual save in my hide for the past entirety of this, the past entirety of the animation process for the ponies in this series. All right. Legit, she's saved my ass in so many fucking occasions that I don't even know what to say, bro. It's like, fuck, dude. Right, Shannon's an actual goddess for real.
Yeah, like literally, we have an all hail Shannon thing for a reason. So like, she literally like saves everyone in this team.
Yes, all right, and that's why she also helped me teach the other animators, because I'm not good at teaching animation, but I can teach the rig fundamentals, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and as a result of that, we got Turning Page, we got Scootaloo, we got Apple Bloom, we got I'll say it, Sugar Stamp, Fair Devotion, and Fair Devote Ooh Woo, I guess. Fuck, bro.
Did you just say Fair Devote Ooh Woo? What the hell is wrong with you?
Yes, he did.
Oh my god.
Yes, and I blame entirely on you, Soundman. This is your fault.
I have never said Fair Devote Ooh Woo.
You fucking liar. Holy shit. Bro.
You just said that live in front of 18,000 people, and you can never take it back.
I'm going to just post recordings in the fan server with no context. You're welcome, Soundman.
You're welcome.
So you want to move on now?
But in short, animation process was fucking hard because it was only just me and Age. But then Shannon came in, saved our asses, and we got some of the greatest animators on this fucking team. And we're also teaching more people nowadays, and it's going smoothly. But
yay!
All right.
All right, now we can move on.
Well, actually, I want to say.
What's up?
No!
Something about
not one more thing.
What is it?
About switching the perspective from Phoenix to Athena.
I think we should wait until we actually say that she's gonna take the case. Then we'll talk about it.
Okay.
Pacing, man. Pacing. Remember, we have to learn from the lessons of this episode so we can do it in the future.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's try to find the best ones we can talk about these.
Also,
the name reveal.
That sword slice animation from Turning is my favorite.
You guys remember the never-ending echo?
Yeah.
Oh my god, yes. Shannon even made a little like art drawing of that.
Yeah.
Monster.
If I talk about it, will it run over whatever you wanted to talk about, Serenity?
Luckily, I managed to catch him before he made it inside this forest.
You can only do that so many times.
What?
No answer. Can I talk about the echo, or will it run over what you're wanting to talk about?
You can talk about the echo.
Okay. So that echo, I love it. It sounds like she really is far away. Issue is, when I did it in audition, apparently the echo does not go to 0, which means it starts echoing itself and getting louder after a minute. So in the initial master, it was just horrible garbage noise throughout the entire scene, like a sine wave, and it was all because of her echo.
Morning, Jug.
Hated it.
What's it like to be young?
Oh, you're not that old. But speaking of
Also, it's the first time we're seeing front face
what happened to that filly?
Front face
Cursed
Phoenix.
and Phoenix in
Yeah.
this style.
Oh my goodness.
Cursed front face Phoenix.
Right after you left. How could they do that?
How about we talk about that? The fact that this case is drastically different from what it was originally.
Lost their minds?
Right. I guess we can talk about that right now. So yeah, there is a giant difference between this, the original script and what's being shown now. So I'm pretty sure most people won't know this if you're not in the team. But back in the original script, it wasn't just Scootaloo being accused. It was all three CMC from the get-go.
Yep.
That's the first big difference when it comes to the original script and the Case 2 rewrite, is that instead of we're doing
I would say that's like the main difference.
That's the main difference. Yes, it's the main difference between the two scripts. Is that like instead of doing all three, we're just doing one at a time.
In before Apple Bloom becomes the next.
No,
definitive.
don't.
Suddenly get a third one.
The only good one.
She already had her time in Turnabout Storm.
She already had her time.
Yeah,
let her enjoy being not a culprit.
She hasn't been. She's not really being involved in this case because like she already had her moment to shine in Turnabout Storm, whereas Scoop and Sweebo were kind of pushed to the side. So that's part of the reason why Scoop and Sweebo were both accused of murder at two separate points. I can say that now because episode 4 is out. Yay! But when I originally read the script for TheAljavis' original case 2, one of the issues I had with it was that Scootaloo, Sweebo, and Avalon were kind of just like there. They were the defendants, and they didn't really have much of like a story going on between them. So I proposed to Aljavis, like, hey, would it be all right if we change things so that one, I can keep injecting my MLI references into this by having Scootaloo be the defendant, and so we could probably get some drama going between the CMC if we have them switch up who's being the defendant in the middle of the case from one of them to another one.
Yeah,
let's just
I was
the friendship.
Yeah, I was open to this because I've always thought that these scripts were pretty weak, even though I thought Case 2 was significantly better than the first case's original writing. But yeah, I was open with the idea because I figured what. Whatever makes the writing even better, I'm all for it. I'm always open with better writing or other ideas and such.
I was also just looking for ways to just make this series sort of stand apart from traditional Ace Attorney. That's part of the reason why Case 1 was changed as much as it was in the latter half, is because I was trying to differentiate it from just being a standard Ace Attorney case. So it's kind of the same situation here. Is we could, instead of just having the CMC be the defendants all the way through the case, we could have it be so that, first of all, there's the fracturing friendship, which is a nice thing to explore. But then there's also the fact that we could change up who the defendant is midway through the case, which technically has been done before in the Ace Attorney series. It's been twice. It was done once in Turnabout Reclaimed. And I guess you could say it was technically also done between Cosmic Turnabout and Turnabout for Tomorrow, but it's not a common thing that happens, switching up who the defendant is. And also, as the end of the next episode shows, Turning also eventually gets arrested for the crime in the middle of the investigation, which is not really something that happens. I think, has it ever happened that somebody additional gets arrested in the middle of the investigation? I don't think so.
I don't recall anything.
Yeah, just trying to shake up the formula of Ace Attorney without doing things too differently that it becomes unrecognizable or just subverting expectations for the sake of subverting expectations.
Yeah. Is that all you got to say?
Yeah, I'll wait to talk about the switching perspectives thing until we get to Athena's moment.
Okay. All right, let's let us be moving on.
There's no way! Scootaloo wouldn't hurt a fly! And besides,
Yeah, because she can't fly.
she didn't even go to the forest last night!
Huh? That's odd.
Yeah, the use of Widget
So confidently, but her voice.
right here.
Am
I believe it's only been done once
Certainty?
throughout the entirety of the series, right?
Scootaloo might have gone into
In Ace
the
Attorney?
forest.
Turnabout
I
Academy
wonder.
is like the only case that uses this.
Yeah, the Turnabout Academy, the one time.
Rainbow Dash last time! Please!
I love these birds.
That's right! Nick's
Nice
keeping her
ambience.
breaking a sweat!
Thanks. This was the first episode where I could actually do environmental work because they're outside the courtroom.
Yeah,
All right! I'm counting on...
immersion.
What is
Yes.
it, Athena?
I would it be
Audience
alright
dies of cringe.
if I led this case?
Hmm?
Fucking hell.
Just- I have a feeling that there's something to this case that might warrant my psychological expertise.
You'd be right.
Defendant is only a kid after all. I can't imagine this will be an easy experience for her to deal with.
Tell me about it. I had to defend a kid once. It certainly wasn't easy for me.
Oh,
Please, Mr. Wright. I can handle this. Trust me. Let me defend Scootaloo. After all, I know more than any of us what it's like to be involved in a murder trial as a kid.
that's a fair point.
I had to defend a kid once.
I had to defend a kid once.
I can let you
I have to defend a kid
I had to
once.
defend a kid once.
Rainbow. Apple Bloom?
Trust you and... Scootaloo. Same here! Thank you kindly, miss.
No problem. I promise.
I think this is when we can talk about it.
You do.
Yeah.
Right here. We'll stop right there. So yeah,
They should really
Another
be playing some
big-
Athena Sykes music.
I can't control what's going on with this
cares?
playlist.
I'll just have to do it myself.
Trucy's a better character anyway.
I had to get Athena music once.
I had to compose music once.
But yeah, another main difference with this script, with the original script and this script, Athena is actually the lead for this one. Back in the original script, it was Phoenix again, but all the writers were like, "Make it Athena. Give her a spotlight. Give her a
character
reason.
arc.
Give her a reason to be here." And I'm like, "All right, let's do it."
Yeah, because do you want to talk about what your original reason was for inviting Athena and Apollo
Literally
on this
just to
journey?
use their gimmicks,
Yes.
which I admit is a big folly on my part.
The writers all heard that. The writers all heard that, and we collectively face bombed.
Yep, that's exactly it. But yeah, I'm really happy that we switched that. We went in this direction. It made we actually gave her an arc, and
Pretty much universally agreed upon. We'd be like, Athena used to be this case.
yes,
There's like no debate about it.
There was no debate. We were all, even I was like, all right, what I thought was stupid. Let's just give Athena this role.
Not even that I thought it was stupid, it was just needlessly constraining. Plus, if we open it up to Athena, we actually get a little more creativity.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
nobody's really written Athena.
We can actually do something with her character, unlike the actual series.
Yeah.
Oof, Omega, oof, lol, lol, lol.
But to actually get into Athena's perspective is another interesting story that did have quite a long debate. It was a few hours long because we wanted to start this case from Phoenix's perspective. Because, I mean, we were coming off of case 1, and we had served this from Phoenix's point of view the entire time. So we sort of wanted to, midway through the episode, be like, okay, somehow we're going to have to change to Athena at some point, but how are we going to do that? Like, I don't remember the exact, this was like 2 years ago at this point. But
it was in the original script, actually.
I remember we were debating, like, are we just going to have it be Phoenix for the entire first episode and we'll switch to Athena on the second? Do we literally just start the episode from Athena's perspective without any sort of like prompting at all? Because I mean, we agreed that that felt strange to just suddenly be from Athena's point of view, but we couldn't figure it out. And then I remember who suggested this idea. Honestly,
well, it was in the original script, actually.
What was in the original script?
Yeah, it was in the original script. Wait, what?
What?
The Switch, yeah.
What? No, it wasn't, because there was...
Yeah, even though it was still...
No
even though
the Switch in the original script.
Yeah. It was for like a small scene. That's when when Athena had to like get the Magatama back. Then when she got the Magatama back, went back to Phoenix.
What? Did that happen in the original script?
Yes. I specifically remember that one.
That was something we wrote. No.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
What?
Yes.
My memory.
You're a broken man.
I am.
You are a broken man.
That seriously was in the original script. We switched to Athena's perspective briefly.
Very briefly.
Actually, I know it didn't, because you know how I know it didn't?
How? Because
Turning Page was not in the first episode of the original case.
Huh?
TheAljavis, don't you remember?
No, I'm not remembering everything. No, but you know what? Let's just continue with this conversation. Let's just keep going with this.
I was about to say.
Okay, so now I know for certain that my memory is right, because like because I remember one of the things that we
much on this point
changed for this case was introducing Turning and Fair much earlier than what they originally were. But we came up with that we if we were going to switch to Athena's perspective, one of the problems we had was the fact that, like, okay, but how is she going to have like the Magatama? Because we wanted Sweetie Belle to have Cyclops, so we needed somehow to have Phoenix's Magatama power be from Athena's point of view. So now we added that to the pile of like, how are we going to switch perspectives? And those two problems solved each other, because we had to be like, what if Athena has to get the Magatama back somehow, and that's when we switch to her perspective. And that's when we wrote in the whole thing with Turning Page attacking the guard, stealing the Magatama from Phoenix and running off, and then Athena catching up to him and stealing back the Magatama from him, which I know is not in the original script, Aljavis. Because in the original script, Turning and Fair actually didn't show up until the second day of the case. They were mentioned in the first day, but not in the second. But they didn't show up until the second, which plays into, you know, another thing that changed from the original script is that Turning Page was not originally one of the defendants. He became one of the defendants when we changed the whole like the Crusaders not being all the defendants at the same time. And also that's how we developed a relationship between Scootle and Turning Page, because that was another thing that we changed. We wanted them.
I'm gonna die of old age before this discussion is over.
Yeah, you want to move on?
Yes, let's move on.
Yeah, okay.
Oh God!
Tangent here.
Fucking Christ!
You're going to need an equestrian attorney's badge.
Oh,
1 hour and 24 minutes.
10-second loop.
I don't have
This loop is so good, guys.
This loop is super good.
Twilight, how does one get?
Yeah, no, Crystal Master told us about the
Normally you'd have to go through
loop.
I am working with
Fantastic.
limited resources.
already a lawyer. We
And
should
more
go
on
to
that in a bit.
the Equestria
Or you know what?
Council.
We're talking about 40-minute stuff. How about I talk about my 40-minute stuff?
You mentioned
When do you want to do that?
Please.
When you were explained how you were able to be Mr. Right
Now.
despite
Now? Okay.
So why was Soundman unable to make the loop good?
Oh,
Soundman
boy.
manually resynchronized this episode from Animate Audio, just like he did 1-2. I don't remember when we did the 1-3 DC, but that dude in there who was like, oh, I used Animate Audio and didn't have to resync anything, fuck him. He had no idea. He had no idea Animate Audio sucks, even if it's on raw compression. If one of you elitists out there are like, oh, dude, if it's raw, there's no compression, I want you to get a human voice and put it into that program and pull it out and look at the spectrogram. It changes it on raw. It is garbage. The high end is trash. It's unusable. And I was so mad because this means I have to synchronize movies from scratch every couple months.
Oh, yeah.
And I hate it. And 1-3 sounds like trash because I didn't have the energy. And, you know, God beholden to me, I have to do this. And we have deadlines and stuff. So why was the loop not good? The loop wasn't good because I did this in a week. The whole resyncing. And trash. And now let me thank my lovely new audio engineers.
Music for that.
Yes. My lovely new audio engineers who helped me with splicing, because, you know, every episode has 500 to 800 voice lines, and I don't want to do them by myself, so they helped me. Thank you. They're good at their job. They're learning mastering, so soon I won't have to master on my own. But if you can't tell, I kind of hate my job, and there's a lot of work. There's a lot of work in it, and it sucks. It's the worst part of this whole project. So sign up to become an audio engineer and join the team.
Tangential point. I didn't realize that audio was hard until I had to start mixing and mastering my own stuff. And then I was like, what the fuck am I doing? This sounded fine, and now it sounds like crap.
Jared, what would your response be to, hey, can you master the whole episode in a week?
I'd say no.
Yeah, okay.
Why?
Unfun moment when
I'd be like, why don't you just give me a month?
I started mastering on the ending scene of this, and Athena's voice gets thrashed by it. Like, if you listen to 1-3 Athena in the defendant lobby at the end, sounds terrible. Has nothing to do with ADOX. ADOX is great. It's Animate. Animate trashes audio. And I pulled out the audio from the FLA and I synchronized it, and I'm like, oh god, this sounds bad. And I'm like ashamed. And you should never be ashamed at your job. So I'm weighing my options, like, should I really manually resync this? And then it's dawning on me, you're gonna have to manually resync this before the deadline. And I had a 10-minute panic attack where I just needed to say, okay, I'm gonna go into the corner, I'm gonna breathe, and I'm just gonna power through it. And I did for 3 episodes, and then in 2-4 we figured out automation for that, because you guys remember when I was doing that live? It's not fun.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not fun.
I was in the calls. I was in the calls when that happened. It looks terrible. This is why I hate editing audio. I don't like editing audio.
So you know, seriously bonded during that call, Soundman. Like, I got to watch a man die in real time.
So
it was
you know,
like church, but worse.
If the oh my god. So if the loops aren't super good, or, you know, the music is a little bit too loud, or you hear a Discord ping in the background, it's because I'm crying over 7 different scenes, and I have an episode after that one, and an episode after that one, and I just want more people, so please come in.
That Discord noise was not a joke, by the way. That's in an episode.
It was.
We can talk about that later, because...
Let's keep going.
Yeah, let's go.
That was a genuine mistake. Get me out of this scene.
Yes, let's go.
It was because you made an appeal to them, right?
We still have another 10 minutes of this scene, I'm pretty sure.
Them as well on my first visit to this place.
Oh, here's the next thing we have to talk about.
Oh my god!
Who's this we?
Hey, yo, that's a nice Alicorn Twilight model that just had the wings deleted. Yo, no unicorn body type? No unicorn body type?
But yeah, this is a direct, like, remake of this scene from Turnabout Storm.
Flashback from Turnabout Storm.
Yeah. Not a lot of people remember this one.
Of course they don't.
literally it's just an excuse to get the judge.
Music. Let's go.
It's literally just an excuse to get the judge into the story and Turnabout Storm.
Yep.
But then we decided it's turned into a plot point.
Actually, hold on. Hold off that point, and then once they get introduced, then we will talk about them more.
The Equestria High Council is made up of 6 ponies. 5 are elected by the general populace.
This is from The Great Ace Attorney. This is the OST.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. This is.
It's not?
It's from Professor Layton versus Fix, right?
Yeah.
This before the game came out.
The original mix we had was DGS, but then we switched it. Because it's obvious.
Well, they're the same composer, that's probably why.
Alright, we can pause it right here. It's all on screen now.
The Equestrian High Council.
Dude, look, it's Royal Order. Oh, wait, no, it's Pegasus. Never mind.
No, it's not Royal Order.
It's not Royal Order.
But yeah, in Turnabout Storm, the Equestrian High Council is mentioned like once, maybe twice. But we wanted to use them in EOJ. Be like, hey, we have this council that Turnabout Storm mentioned. Why don't we just explore that a bit? They can be like our PIC or something. So that's what we did. We integrated them into the. We're going to integrate them into the story and we have a little taste of them right here. I've not seen people dissect this image on the Theories channel. I'm calling you out.
There was a little bit, but it also involved positioning Royal Order as that guy, but he's a unicorn and that guy is a Pegasus, so it fell apart in like 2 minutes. So
yeah, but I mean, after this director's commentary comes out, I want to see this. I want to see dissection with this. People on the Discord server. But
people watch these director's commentaries.
No one watches these director's commentaries.
We'll watch these director's commentaries.
Hi, Perry.
Watch it.
Hi, Zeus.
Hello, Perry.
Hey, like at least,
Zeus one of the people who watches these.
Hey, listen, the people who watch these are the real ones.
Yes,
real ones.
You're the real fans. If you watch these director's commentaries, you may get hints to future developments and learn information about the direction of a case as it unfolds.
And also, why these episodes take a while to be done.
Yeah.
You can also just learn some valuable lessons about the production process. That you
You could also literally learn how the hell. You could also
don't make the same mistakes we do.
Real process. You learn the actual process on how human beings literally go insane. This is literally your live watch on how human beings can actually go to the down under and go mentally insane.
Australia?
Destro?
Optic? Optic, yeah.
You can't say down under and just not.
I meant to say Asylum, not Australian, bruh. I would say Asylum.
No, down under, you idiot.
Down under is Australia.
Anyway,
so let's go. Are we done with this discussion?
Just get me out of here.
I said pretty much everything I wanted to say. I said pretty much everything I wanted to say about the image.
All right, go.
They advised the princesses when making
The episodes take too long because we talk for 6 months in between each episode on these DCs.
Yes. It's about the actual episode, by the way.
Basic checks and balance system.
1 hour and 33 minutes. We're already done with the
PTSD over repeated lines.
Yes.
Checks and balance. Shucks.
And if you want to stand in court,
I can't wait for the border mystery.
through the typical procedures, you must get permission from both them and Princess Celestia.
Oh, fuck.
What should I do then? Is it not possible for me?
Wait, that's a nice black canvas, by the way.
Well, there might be a chance you could. Since you're an acquaintance of myself and Mr. Wright, it shouldn't be too hard to write an appeal to you and Apollo.
Oh, wait a second. I never asked for a badge.
You don't get a choice here, Apollo.
Athena, I don't see the harm in getting one for you as well. You know,
Come on, Apollo. You know you like it.
I doubt it.
Spike.
Wait a second. I didn't ask to be rendered with a normal and equestrian badge in my front view of my 3D model.
You just read it.
I wonder who could have possibly asked for that.
From a princess.
I'm gonna fight you.
I wonder
We're adding an extra amount of rasters.
which one of us creates unnecessary work for other people.
And them by the end of the day.
Oh my god.
Isn't that a little fast? Even if they read your request and responded right away, What about the time it takes to deliver those messages?
Well,
Don't underestimate Equestria.
just instantly using his fire breath.
I love this moment.
What?
Yeah, I love this moment too.
Writes a letter. All he has to do is breathe
See, now
fire,
this
and it'll
is
send
good
messages.
humor.
This is funny. This is actually comedy.
That... Oh, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it does.
What do you mean?
He's burning the paper. How does it get sent anywhere?
Dragon magic.
I don't think anyone realized that was a Fallout Equestria reference.
First off,
No one, not everyone reads the
Serenity, it's been almost 7 years since I read the original Fallout Equestria. There's no way I remember anything from it.
Zoomers of this fandom you've never read it, probably.
I know. I wasn't expecting
Be a delay in hearing back from them.
anybody to notice.
It's been 7
but
years, man. I've played Fallout 4 before I read
maybe
Fallout
one person.
Equestria.
Come by the castle later to
I thought maybe
drop
like
off
there would be
their
one person.
response.
He would be on my.
I've never read Fallout Equestria, and I'm probably not going to read it because that's too fucking long for my brain to understand.
You have to do it.
All right.
You work on elements.
I'm with you, just so you have some.
Well,
Justice
I mean, here's
and
the
the
thing.
argument
All right,
in
I
Cadet.
animate the visual aspect. I already know I don't remember half of the episodes.
Apple Bloom. Last time, this isn't exactly
This song got us copyright struck.
Yeah. Yeah.
investigating stuff.
I'm gonna be your Maya.
Okay. If I say no,
Man.
you'll just find a way to tag along anyway.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but
This
that's
way I can keep an eye on you, so that you
Psy animation was actually not one of Twilight's actual like pre-rendered animations.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Wait. No. Go back. I
Side.
missed that entirely. What are you talking about?
I don't want to
Twilight Psy is not like one of her
This
actual
one.
animations.
Okay. If I
Oh,
say
yeah.
no,
All right.
I think
I should
Gerbo did
probably-
that.
Gerbo
I'm
did
gonna
that,
explain
yeah.
for a second. Pause.
I thought that was
Alright.
a cool thing.
For like 2 seconds, all right? This is a quick tidbit, right? This was not made by me. I am one of the unfortunate souls to go through the Twilight rig for literal months on end, and I still have to go through it, but this was not me. This was completely implemented by a random editor on a
Bro,
whim.
why is this music so dramatic?
Stuff. That's that's
I
Twilight's
can't
on screen.
control what's going on in this play with this compilation.
Look, all right. This image, yeah, it's good, right? But this was not by me. This was not by a single animator. This was made by Gerbo on a whim, and it's cool. But I also at that point kind of discouraged the use of making animations at a level like these and just leave it up to the animators because it would get very, 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 very wild quickly if we just allowed every editor to just do that willy nilly.
We just make the show.
Yes,
Straight up.
Just make the show. All right. But yeah, that's that little pose, and also my spare time of not touching Twilight. Thank God.
Fair enough. Keep going, Al.
All right.
And keep an eye on you, so that you don't get lost or mess up the crime scene.
And here we go again.
More of us should
Apple
go.
Bloom's
That's
not a
gonna
gentle
win.
colt.
Intentionally disrupt the investigation. because too many of us
We're not there yet.
Not
Hey, she can
No,
Right,
wait.
Jared?
This isn't exactly the safest
Jared's
place.
excited to get to that moment, right?
Trucy, Spike, and
Cringe.
letting
Yeah.
everyone know what's going on.
We're 30 minutes in. We got another hour to go.
Nah.
At least it's not 2
Look,
hours.
Spike has been hit by a shrink ray, but only a little.
Oh my God.
Honey, I shrunk the dragon.
Rainbow.
Oh fuck, Soundman! I just realized that little joke you said actually refers to the Great Reordering again.
Yeah, you're welcome. We'll talk about that later.
Count on me.
What's
This DC or the next DC?
Next DC.
Okay, thank you.
Especially courage like I've never seen before.
You know, there's a major thing I haven't mentioned because I was actually trying to pace my notes out across the episode instead of just shitting out an hour of shit in the first 10 minutes.
We'll learn for the next DC.
You can count on her.
No, I'm going to say it because it's relevant to this episode in the next scene.
Okay, that's fine.
Tenacity.
Also, that there's another Milo Investigations reference.
Do I sense
Right there.
Yeah.
nostalgia behind those words?
I forgot.
That's what Rainbow Dash told school that the ribbon meant that she gave her. Although she didn't use the word tenacity because Rainbow Dash doesn't know the word tenacity. in
Floating off the ground.
We should probably get going.
in the show.
He has
Because he can fly.
He does here because it's after season 2. So
Don't worry. I asked the
Season
guards
2 is when he got his wings.
They were willing to
What?
tell a princess like me the details.
Spike?
no, not Spike. I was talking about Rainbow Dash.
Rainbow Dash got her wings in season 2.
Yes.
Hell yeah. Yep. That's,
Rainbow Dash
that's
was a
what
birth
happened.
pony before that point.
Okay,
Forgot about that entirely.
I'm going to talk about my garbage again.
Oh,
Like right here?
Yeah. Have you noticed that the text boxes are strange, as in they're perfect, and they also sometimes contain notes that aren't verbalized, almost as if it were the script itself?
That is
Yeah,
true.
like sigh and all that.
Yeah. Is
Oh,
that
yeah.
because some human being, some god among men, found a way to shovel the script via a robot into the episode?
Ah,
thus
yes.
preventing the death of
Yes.
lives?
Automation.
Yes. Let's talk
Automation.
about automation.
This was
the
the
one thing that this is damn well certain is that automation has literally fucking saved our asses.
This was the first episode where automation was used, and for people who are not in the know, there's just a video of a test render of 1-2 like buried deep in our Discord, and like there are no backgrounds. Some backgrounds are sketches. There are some rigs. Some of the text is there. Some text is not. Like all that stuff was manual. And boy, did that eat up a lot of time. So instead of having TheAljavis or some other person, copy and paste the script over and over and over and over for 800 lines, we'll get a JavaScript array that'll just parse it and paste it. So that's what I did. And right here, it was only lines, but then over time and over the next episodes, starts placing rigs, backgrounds, gets nice and tidy, and the editors get a nice space to work off of for these 3-hour episodes instead of just scratch. Working on this kind of stuff from scratch is horrible.
Yeah, it is. As a guy who worked on it by myself for 2 episodes during case 1, manually doing all of that was painful.
And
Soundman,
yes,
I'm gonna tell you right here, right now. Oh, I do end up becoming a video editor for like 2.3 and 2.4. I'm gonna say right now, if literally none of that shit, if a certain scene in 2.4, if I had to do that entirely manually, I guarantee you I probably would not have made it, and I probably would have hated my job more than I already hate it.
People would have dropped. We would have gotten held up for like months.
Yeah,
trying to get the workforce.
Literally,
in.
the editors would not exist.
The editors were stressed with the automation. That's how big the workload gets.
Yeah.
So, thank God for our automation base. I'm always working on improving it and making new tools to make their lives easier because, without automation, their job is worse than mine, honestly.
It is.
I can vouch.
Yeah.
Imagine doing all of that while waiting for Adobe Animate to fucking respond half the time.
Yeah.
So
apply for an automation person today and use your JavaScript skills to ease our pain.
Please do.
There, I got my 2 advertisements out of the way. I have no line. I have 1 note left for later. Cool.
Right.
I got all my stuff out of the way and I pasted. I'm cool.
Nice.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, I remember Julius wanted to do that.
I don't remember that.
Oh yeah,
was
he
an
did. He said that.
That was an actual dog sound, but Julius really wanted to do the ow.
As the name suggests, the bodies are made of timber and leaves. They can even reassemble themselves if they get
Okay.
Also, MLI track over
Yes,
here.
there's an MLI track, but I hate this scene so much. Looking back at it, this whole scene is just dedicated to setting up how the Everfree Forest works.
Ew.
And it's really just the characters just discussing how the Everfree Forest works, the mechanics of it, logistically. It's I wish, I don't know. I would have preferred having this, not only spread it out more, but also, not care so much about the actual specific mechanics of the Everfree Forest, carrying them over from Turnabout Storm and everything. Because, I mean, as we saw this just there, that was a Turnabout Storm flashback, again, recreated in EOJ style for how the Timberwolves work. And that's the first mention of time, which I regret putting.
Time is the great
Why
equalizer.
you punish me?
But then there's also like they're also gonna talk about in a second here, like how the Everfree Forest is dark at night, except there was a full moon, so it was only dark in the actual forest parts and not in the paths. It's like we don't need all this specific like information. The audience can imagine well enough on their own, like, you know, what parts of the forest would be dark, and you know which parts of the forest would naturally be brighter because there aren't trees there. Characters don't need to spell it out for the audience. So yeah, this is probably my least favorite scene in the entirety of EOJ at this point, because I regret writing it. I regret writing it so much.
If this was written in terms of just typical prose, like in a paragraph, you could have gone away with 2 paragraphs exposition explaining the Everfree, and then immediately move into the actual dialogue of action. But because it's a script, you cannot accentuate that flow. You have to actually stop and have them do it in this awkward way.
It's a good thing that we will never have another scene where people stand around talking about information we already know.
What the fuck? Wait, who flipped Twilight over like that? Huh? Hi?
No, yeah, what is that? Oh, whoa.
What?
Wait, go
ahead.
Actually,
okay, I specifically asked for that so that Twilight would be facing the direction that she's talking.
Bruh.
No,
how did that get by college?
I thought that was supposed to be there because she has to do that to point out each path.
Pointing in the direction that she's talking about.
Okay, good, but when the fuck?
She does a little dance like in the memes where you flip something horizontal and back again over and over.
You guys don't remember this part?
Yeah.
You think I remember this?
It's been a year, Al.
I repressed this memory. I had to resync.
I don't remember this shit only because I worked with this stupid rig so many times. I know that doesn't fucking exist. All right.
As much as I'd love to explain, we really ought to move on.
1 hour and 47 minutes.
Explaining, Twilight. That's all you've been doing this scene.
I am the purple expositor.
Until she isn't.
Fuck you, Twilight.
The only thing she exposits is the mirror pool, and I don't like, and I think Serenity would agree with me here, I don't like how we drew so much emphasis on that while dismissing emphasis on everything else. Like, it makes sense, but also it's like,
I just hate all of this exposition now. Like,
it's kind of cringe. Not gonna lie.
It's very cringe-worthy.
To be fair, I think this is our first investigation writing. So
it was our first investigation.
Guaranteed to have a very awkward setup and just structure, and just we were learning as we went.
Mm-hmm.
But also, man, this scene.
I also I was placing too much emphasis when I was first drafting out how this case would progress in terms of the clues and everything. I put way too much emphasis on the times and everything. I regret doing that. I wish I hadn't. And if I were to rewrite this case, I would just remove the whole time shenanigans from the case
rewrite
entirely.
of case 2.
It's about time. Oh my god, game left music. I forgot this existed.
Someone actually lives in this forest?
This is my favorite background, probably for the case.
I agree. I love this background.
Shannon. I love the mailbox.
The mailbox is the best character.
The mailbox is the cutest thing ever.
Hey, quick question. Does Phoenix look like that he suddenly decided to come extremely dangerously close to the screen, or am I actually seeing things?
You're seeing things.
You might be seeing things.
I swear to God, I thought Phoenix got resized in the weirdest fucking way possible.
Also, I remember we had that issue with editing 2.1 and 2.2 that for whatever reason, one of the humans kept changing sizes. I remember either Gerbo or Cat.
That's why we have the great reordering.
Oh my god.
Does anyone else see that?
I saw that. You're right.
I see it too. It's weird.
He's looking so dangerously close. He's breathing in your ear as he talks.
That is one intimidating Phoenix, right? Look at his face melting off.
Look
He's
at my
impossible.
broad shoulders.
No.
Look at my sharp pixels.
Do you like how my face disintegrates into pixels?
What does that flower do exactly?
Very bizarre kind of flower. If you touch it,
This is Everfree music that we got, that we obtained and credited the person who did it.
Next day, we woke up to find our bodies had been altered. I, for example, had my horn rendered floppy and completely useless.
Sussy.
My sister became so tiny that she could ride on top of me. Luckily, it's not contagious. You have to physically touch the plant to be affected.
Good thing she stopped us. I almost walked right through them. I wonder what they would have done to me. Take away my hearing? Is there, anything else around here we should be worried about?
Yeah, zebra. That's pretty dangerous.
Not being informed that Zecora is a zebra.
Zecora what we need to ask her.
Right.
Yay, Zecora. Everyone's favorite thing to write.
Yeah.
Could you come out? I need to talk to you.
So glad we did not have to write lines for her in this episode.
Damn,
Because that would mean another rig.
The one that didn't even exist.
I guess she must be out gathering herbs or
Wow,
something.
we explained in another DC.
Sure about that, Twilight. Look here.
I'm not so sure. She's dead.
Best character.
Compared to the others. I can
And that mailbox is doing its best.
Nom 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 nom.
That's awful.
Zecora always brings her mail in right away so that it doesn't end up like this.
I thought that'd be the case.
So
Yeah, nice fade.
Nice fade.
Yeah, I think
Nice fade.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Man, when did this DC become polished too? The revenge.
She could be the victim of this case. Do you?
Nice fade.
Nice fade. Oh my god.
Fair,
Well,
fair,
characters not-
actually traumatized this kid.
You don't always have to fade.
I don't think so, Apple Bloom.
No, yeah, it does.
Oh my god.
Oh, no. Don't worry. I'm not saying that she's the victim. If she
Yes, you
was,
are.
there are police officers here combing her house for clues. Since there aren't any, I think it's safe to say that she's okay.
Or they haven't found her body.
That too.
Damn, got him.
She was replaced by a changeling.
Cry about it, Apple Bloom.
All right, I want to talk about this scene right here.
Right here?
You must really care
Yeah.
about Zecora.
Okay.
Aljavis dreads having pressed the pause button. Okay, so what did I write here? Oh yeah, right. So I like the fact that up until she finally testified as a witness, we were like completely muddying what Zecora's actual role in this case was. Because in the trailer, I remember we were trying to make people think she'd be the defendant.
Or people thought she would be the prosecutor.
And then
for whatever
one of the
reason.
reasons we kept the victim ambiguous.
Psychos.
People also thought she'd be the prosecutor, yeah. But then we also tried to tease that maybe she's the victim because we kept the victim ambiguous in the intro, primarily for this purpose. But there's also
This fucking music.
I can't control what's going on in it.
I also this moment here is also highlights the difference in thinking between Athena and Phoenix. Like Athena just jumped to the worst conclusion right away, but Phoenix actually thought through the evidence at hand and came to a more reasonable conclusion. I wonder if that'll be important later.
And that's why Athena sucks. She's not Phoenix.
Athena's inexperienced.
Yeah, she sucks.
Bad character.
Damn, Athena kind of trash though.
Lol.
We should never have written her. We should have written her out. We should send her back home.
Athena gets teleported home.
Athena's the only one teleported home in the very first scene.
Athena, go keep my temperature cold at home. That's your purpose, bitch. That was a good joke. That landed. Can we please fucking finish this?
Yes. Okay. Let's move on.
I mean, yeah, that's really all I wanted to say was just like using this moment with Zecora of all the characters to sort of like show Athena a down moment for Athena, where she like just assumes that Zecora is the victim right in front of Applebloom, no less.
Away from her hut for some time. It's possible it could be because she was taken in for some
This is such. Why did these take so long?
Ghost trick that exists.
Oh yeah, ghost trick sound effects. Great.
Yeah. Thank you, Shudakumi.
We play games.
No, we don't.
You're right. We make this series.
Correct. Good answer.
Kill all the jokes that Zecora got invited to Smash.
Dirty letter.
Let's go. Go Zecora Super Smash Brothers for the Nintendo Switch.
I did. Look at the seal.
It has the Smash logo on it.
I think I've seen that before. Wasn't it during our last investigation? You're right, Apple.
Wait, I don't remember that in Turnabout Storm. What the?
It's the seal on the letter that Derpy gives to Twilight and Applebloom.
Oh my god, Serenity, you acknowledged Lenora tangentially.
Oh, that's scary.
It's the letter they give to Lenora, yeah.
Oh god, that dirty letter.
Princesses want to get in touch with Zecora of all creatures.
Don't be racist, Twilight.
Yeah, no one would want to talk to Zecora. They would have to write her lines.
moving towards the crime scene.
Damn.
You're right.
Damn. Real one.
Back in her mailbox. We shouldn't be invading her privacy like this after all.
I wonder what's on that letter. Ooh.
Is there religion
Oh,
involved?
Shadow got the time. I was making a joke, Twilight. Why'd you have to ruin it?
Got him.
Oh god damn it.
Oh my god, wait, is this...
Oh, hey, look, it's
John Cena.
Da, 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 da.
I hate how we zoom in on this shit.
Longest zoom in of all time.
This
Suddenly they're
reminds me of,
super
like,
big. They're flying.
Samurai Jack kind of zoom in kind of
They're
sense.
flying! They're all flying!
Two sisters. This is where Equestria's current rulers, Princess
Maybe we shouldn't have put the rigs there.
They're Dragon Ball characters, bro. They
Maybe-
need their energy to
To be fair, where else were we going to put them?
On the
Just
ground.
fucking nowhere? Nowhere? Just don't have them on screen? Alright, the viewers will know what they're doing. Yeah.
I need to ask these people ponies about the family of Ponyville, the castle of the two sisters. I wonder what else I can learn about this world.
And then we never talked about it.
What's
My
Oh, I'm
God.
Mr. Layton.
Oh,
Oh,
boy. We have
Private
to
eye.
talk about him.
Oh,
Hi, Jared.
Not yet, not yet.
All right, yeah, we'll wait for a bit.
taken aback.
Yes, sorry. It's just, your hat reminds me of someone I met once, a long time ago.
Greatest crossover ever.
No need
Fringe.
to apologize, my friend.
Pardon me, sir, but we're here to investigate the murder that occurred here last night.
Princess Twilight.
Alright, pause.
All right, here we go.
It is time.
Let's
Right.
go.
Oh,
Let's go.
yeah.
This. Private Eye. Oh, this is the perfect music for me to just
It's
explain
actually
my
such-
anxiety
it's
about
such-
him. Right.
It's
Oh,
such
So,
good
Private
music.
Eye is he's obviously our Layton-esque pony. He was my second task as a musician for Elements of Justice. He was the second character that I was asked to try and compose a theme for. I want to emphasize, and I think I've said this before in several calls in the fan server, but I'm not a musician. No experience whatsoever in composing music. So, I was basically asked to, do this after I said, I would like to learn how to compose custom music for Elements of Justice. And we had this character, and the goal was to create some kind of Layton sounding track. While I haven't played the Layton games, I am familiar with the music. Unfortunately, once I started getting into it, I realized that I had a couple of issues. One of them was that I couldn't really find a good accordion VST, so I had to kind of toss that out immediately and start over. Now, I don't know if you guys know this, But when I started composing Privatized Theme, I actually based it initially off of a classical piece. But I ironically don't remember what that classical piece is because there's just so many things that I end up doing with Privatized Theme that I can't even recognize what the original basis was. Something else that I want to say, and this kind of want to emphasize like how new I was at music creation and just music making, was the fact that this is probably like the most revised musical piece that I've had to make for the series so far. Not saying that's necessarily a bad thing, but I did, and maybe you remember this, Soundman, possibly even use Serenity and Al. I made like 9 revisions before I was happy with any sense of a draft, right?
Yeah.
And it was a very tough time because obviously I didn't know what I was doing, and I was very uncertain about how to make any of this sound good. Though in the end, I think what the song that we ended up with after those 9 revisions and several bouts of just wanting to start over, while it was kind of an inefficient and not quite effective manner, it did lead to the song being, relatively complete. Would it be alright if I kind of talk about like what my mindset was going into each section of the song very briefly?
Yeah.
Sure.
Cool.
This is your time to shine.
Sure. Yeah. So obviously, because it was latent-esque, we had to give in some latent motifs. And that's kind of what the beginning part, the very first intro section of the song basically is.
Yep.
The piano, it's a very close rip from how A Curious Village's theme starts. And the violin that accompanies it is very similar, but instead of going down the chord, it actually starts up. After it gets like the first 3 notes, it starts up and then it goes back down, which kind of gives it a very slightly different latent-esque sound, just because of that, additional, I think we call it like a major 7th instead. Obviously, it has a bunch of percussion with it, some shakers and a kick drum that helps set the beat, and that kind of leads into the first verse, which is arguably I almost want to call it the heart of the song. It kind of has a more triumphant sound attached to it. And this is achieved through a combination of the violin and cello, which, forgive me as I obviously don't know all the terms in music making, but the violin and cello, in my opinion, kind of create this gradual swelling going up and down the key signature, just kind of building to basically the chorus of the piece. Now, in the first verse, along with the violin and cello, something that I really did enjoy using was this kind of staccato combination of trombones and trumpets, which kind of helped accentuate the melody in the very second half of the first verse. And then we had this transition with the piano going up the scale very quickly to the chorus of the piece, which is a very different beast altogether. Definitely a little more grandiose and epic, but it also changes basically the percussive sound, because instead of using a basic or regular drum kit, I've now attached marching drums, which you can kind of hear very quickly, the dun 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 dun, that kind of beat. And also a bunch of cymbals to kind of accentuate whenever a new measure starts and begins. It's not quite the most complicated set, because it really is just me repeating a chord progression with the piano up and down until I get to the second verse, which I'm pretty sure the fans will not have noticed, because they did not do what I did and listen to Layton's theme over and over and over again. That one is Layton's theme. The violin pattern that I use, that is the Layton theme. It is just, the same one that it uses halfway through the song. I did not do anything really creative with it. I just kind of copied it and then transcribed it to this certain key. But it was also a second verse that tries to mirror the first verse. If you kind of listen to how I patterned it, the piano continues this kind of going up and down the scale, whereas while the violin and the cello sort of play this latent pattern sound, while also another staccato brass instrument, and I think it's mostly just the trombone again, that kind of re-accentuates the point to just kind of bring in the second verse, same as the verse as it were. And then the fifth section, I am getting to a point, I swear, which is the final verse of this song. I tried to make it sound a little more epic, a lot of staccato sounds, returning to the marching drums, and there's a shorter kind of chord line tonality to it. So yeah, that's kind of like the brief mindset, convoluted as it is, as to how I started making this piece and how it ended up becoming the piece that you hear in the actual episode. Some reflections about it. It's probably the piece for early on in my music making career, I guess we'll call it that. It's probably the most complete in terms of what the early projects were, and it does sound the most full instead of just an orchestra kind of sound essentially. But I am definitely aware of its faults, one thing that I am kind of monstrously aware of is the fact that I don't think the sections really flow into one another. They sound very much like separate short pieces, if I'm going to be honest. They don't really communicate the same way that future pieces do communicate. Kind of jumping ahead, obviously, 2 episodes, Luna's entrance theme has more cohesion, right? But this one doesn't really have that. It's kind of separated into just 5 parts that happen to play nicely after one after the other. But they don't really flow, and I feel like if I had been more conscientious how to make music in a more stringent way, we would have been able to achieve that flow. At least I would have been able to. But obviously, this is the second piece that I made, so it's going to have a lot of flaws. Honestly, though, like I am still kind of proud of it, and I like the fact that during the premiere of 2-1, I was very nervous because first music making, I didn't know if people would like it. I was really happy though when the outpouring of this sounds like something that the guy who composes music for the Ace Attorney games would make, or this sounds exactly like Layton's theme. Like that was a really validating experience to be told that, okay, you're not making shit. You're actually, doing something that has some kind of logic to it. And I've been trying to incorporate lessons from that ever since. Anyway, that's what I want to say. That was a little long. I apologize.
No, it's fine.
But that's some of the process that I did for Private Eye's theme. Yeah. Let's go Reese's Pieces Pony.
Yeah, Reese's Pieces Pony.
And he's just as tasty.
Mm-hmm.
Reese's Puff.
What a he's a handsome stallion.
Yes.
Joe is God and life and love.
Chad.
Should we talk about Joe?
Joe's a nice guy.
Mama.
Got him.
I'm surprised how personable he is.
He is.
Because, you think awesome, amazing, A-tier voice actor,
gentleman,
someone who's busy, and Joe just slums it with us. He's friends with the team, and he's so nice.
Yeah, it's awesome.
He's just like his character.
I also want to mention his audition. When we were opening auditions for Private Eye, oh my god, the amount of auditions we got.
40.
That's just as many proofreaders as the very first proofreader.
Maybe they all came back.
We originally
they all equally wanted to be Private Eye.
Yeah, we originally wanted this character's voice to be just near Professor Layton, a little bit near it, because we didn't expect anyone to be as accurate as the actual Professor Layton. But then I saw a comment from Pretzelman, that's his alias. We call him by Joe. We saw a comment from the update video about the auditions, and he said, "My time has come." And I saw, oh boy, I already know what's gonna happen. And when we heard him, first we gotta listen to everyone first, but then we heard him. It's this is kind of no contest.
Hi, Private Eye.
Hi, Private Eye.
They'll be saying the same things about Optic once we get to
him. Yeah, we'll get to Optic by the time we get to him.
We haven't really talked about Optic and Turning Page yet.
We'll get when we get to that scene, because we'll talk about the music there, and I'm going to be crying.
Yes.
But it's okay. We'll get there when we get there. Anyway, Private Eye, top tier. He hasn't even introduced himself yet.
Yeah. We introduced him for you.
Exactly.
I mean, who is this pony? I have no idea.
He's Obi-Wan Shinobi.
Reese's Pieces Pony.
Everybody made the Obi-Wan.
An Obi-Wan reference joke when he did that.
That wasn't intended, was it?
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't, but the way he said it definitely was.
Hello there.
All right, so let's move on.
It is to be in your noble presence, Your Highness.
Thank you. You really don't have to address me like that. Or a bow.
Yes, it does.
But, even a year into making music, Private Eye's theme still holds up. It's not great, but it holds.
It's great, bro.
Jared,
oh my god, I forgot the Mark Fiegler song though, and how that was such a magical thing.
Who might you be, miss?
One thing we really want to do with Private Eye is not just make him Layton. We actually wanted to. One thing that one of the writers, James especially, has been pushing for is to make Private Eye just sort of have like a similar
Vibe?
What's the word I'm looking for? Similar vibe, yeah. Similar vibe to Leighton in his like mannerisms and like speech, but actually have more character to him than Leighton does, because Leighton is kind of just like a cardboard cutout. Like he's not really a character in his own game, other than just I'm a gentleman, and that's the extent of it. So one thing we really want to do is actually give Private Eye more of his own character, which isn't really apparent in this episode, but it is more obvious in the episodes that follow this one.
Can we talk about how Soundman managed to loop my shitty song and it actually worked really nicely?
I can loop anything. I am the Soundman.
You are the Soundman.
Oh my god.
I'm afraid that if I revealed anything,
This is the only like thing right here where it's like Private Eye always being secretive about something. It's like, what is it? We don't know.
Oh my god. When will we know? Who knows? Who knows
Never.
about that?
I know.
Hi,
Oh,
Serenity.
show off.
correct?
Yes, we are. We need to build our case to defend Scootaloo after all.
Who?
Philly was arrested as the suspect. Personally, I find it hard to believe that she is responsible. We found no link between her and the victim after all.
It's also another like a bit of a difference between the
Her as the culprit.
usual Ace Attorney like detective character. Usually the detective at first is like very arrogant, just like the prosecutor is, and they slowly come to your side before the prosecutor does. But Private Eye here is very much the opposite of that.
He's just a good boy.
He's like, I don't know.
He is a good boy.
I kind of doubt this was the culprit. But I mean, like, we kind of had to do it because the evidence pointed to her.
Nothing of it, miss.
Twilight still seems
The fuck is that speed?
I wonder what's
Oh my
happening her.
god.
Hey, Twilight?
That just went fucking rapidly fast for a second. Damn.
The emotions I'm hearing say otherwise, Twilight. But I suppose that's a can of worms that can wait to be opened.
Can't remember if this was actually revealed or not.
2 hours and 11 minutes.
Oh my god, finally, an actual Ace Attorney track that's directly from the game. That's crazy.
Can you tell
Yeah.
me anything about them, Private
We
Eye?
are halfway done.
Well, now.
Wow.
That's a matter I've been.
The 1 hour, 30-minute DC.
Wait, seriously? You can't even tell us who the victim is?
Well, not so much.
Some things have fate, some things don't, and I'm questioning everything.
Is Miss Apple Bloom.
Isn't it nice having standards?
Private Eye, I promise you it's
No,
What even
no,
is a
it's not.
standard?
It is.
that will cause any
It
trouble
is.
for you.
No, it's no, it's not, because this pisses me off even more. They got to apply to that standing every single minute. Oh no!
I never realized that Bloom actually does a muffled
Yeah.
sound.
Yeah,
it's
that was Gerbo doing that. I noticed that
Alright.
too.
All right, let's talk about Royal Order.
Pretty cool.
Oh,
He's
yeah. You're dead, Serenity.
I am dead.
Killed you.
No, I only got to live for like 2 minutes.
This is good music. Serenity is dead.
Everyone celebrates.
Dead fellas, no.
But yeah, I want to talk about the fact that Royal Order was and when he first appeared. I'm not sure how many people actually still don't know this, but
Oh wait, this song always gets me
Royal Order
shut
first appeared in the post-credit scene. What is this music?
This is the
I
end
can't
credits to
control
Trials
what's
and
going on in
Tribulations.
this compilation.
This is going off.
This is a good fucking song.
Be dramatic, Serenity. Be dramatic. You were a thespian. You got to give it all for this.
I died by your hand.
No, I'm not going to be dramatic. I was dramatic yesterday. I can't be dramatic 2 days in a row. But yeah, I don't know how many people still don't know this, but Royal Order first appeared in the post-credit scene of Case 1. By the way, if you still don't know there are post-credit scenes, there are post-credit scenes.
Please watch them. I work
There are
hard on
also
them.
credits.
They're animated.
They're animated.
They're animated.
But
Painstakingly by
Yeah.
me.
Take it.
that was that That was our little tease of case 2 at the end of case 1. Is they're like, ooh, the victim appeared at the end of case 1. It's not really like as big of a tease as it probably could have been, honestly. But
his name is
getting
what's
better.
important.
We're getting better at doing good post-credit scenes. You know,
Yeah,
something that's actually
we'll get as good as
substantial.
Marvel one day.
Watch
No.
Yes, we will. Come on. That's
Okay, maybe.
one of the things we're working on.
Maybe.
I like it. I like it.
Oh, it's hot shit. It's some hot shit. All right?
Hot shit in a good way.
Yeah,
Yes, I mean that in a good way. That's what the expression means.
I do like the fact that it's like the fact that Royal Order actually did appear in this series before this point. It feels like it's something that catches the audience's attention if they notice it. The issue is that most of them probably didn't notice
in the
it.
world too.
It does, yeah, and also makes Royal Order seem like a much more important character. The fact that like he had been the one to release Sonata from prison, what does that mean?
Sonata?
Oh God, is
Who
that
knows? No. But it does make him seem like it's someone you should actually pay attention to and keep an eye on, actually care about, because he's interacting with the characters that have already been established. Even if it was only for like a 2-minute scene.
Yo, not what you would expect. I forgot what the trope was called.
The trope?
I swear to God.
Oh, Chekhov's gun man?
Yeah, that one.
Well, in this case, it would be Chekhov's gun man, because we're talking about an individual.
I'd call it Chekhov's corpse.
Private Eye is no Royal Order's a
that
male?
works too.
She's a male pony?
She's a male pony?
No, we can't do that joke yet.
What? This is when it happened, though.
No, it happened in the next episode.
No, it happened here.
In production.
It did.
It was terrible.
But we'll never mention it because it's
We'll never mention
horrible.
it.
Yeah. All right, you done with this? Are you
Let's
guys
go.
done with this?
Yeah.
It's an hour and 30-minute DC.
That night, alive and well.
Man,
2 hours.
Good apologist, this music. Man, sad.
She decided to leave soon afterwards, and she never saw him alive again.
Royal Guard?
Unfortunate.
So that's
This was actually right. I've
Blackmailer?
We're doing our best not to make the citizens.
Don't say that.
So, the victim had a family.
Yes, a wife and son. I have a photo of them here, if you wish to see them.
Hey, it's the photo we teased before this case was released.
Oh my goodness.
Remember when we did that? Remember
Yeah.
that whole thing? That was like so long ago.
That was so long ago.
I forgot everything.
Also, I like how the little setup and reveal of who Turning Page is. Like,
Yeah.
we see him before we even know about who the victim is, and then he gets revealed as the victim's son, and it's like it puts all his actions into context. Like, oh, I get it.
We don't know where he was or what he was doing last night.
I remember when people saw that picture, like, oh my god, poor kid.
I wonder if he has some sort of connection to this case then. It'd be a good
course he
Also,
has
like the fact
connection.
that we cast suspicion pretty early on here on Turning Page. We'd be like, oh, we don't know what he was doing last night. It's like,
Yeah.
ooh, what did he get up to? Maybe he's involved in the crime somehow. And then he gets
No
arrested in the
good.
next episode.
I'm telling you, he got into one little fight, and his mom got scared. So,
Hey man, come on. The Oscars was literally like how long ago? Come on, chill.
It's kind of an odd place to stamp someone, don't you think?
We thought so as well. We're hoping to
What the fuck?
for that once the autopsy is complete.
small stab wound. Just how small are you talking?
Every puzzle has an answer. Look no further than that scooter over there.
G is very proud of that line because that wasn't in the script.
That scooter.
Leighton.
What is it, Twilight?
Those are scooters.
Okay, I don't like how long it took for us to get to like the scooter and wagon, and also how we focused on the castle first, like before literally anything. The most important thing in the scene is what's right in front of us, and at the start of the scene we go like, oh, look at the castle,
You're right.
and then it takes us like 5 minutes before we actually start talking about the scooter. I don't know. I don't really know how we would rewrite this if we were, but I would draw more attention to the scooter first and foremost, and not wait until we decided we're finally going to talk about it.
We're still getting used to like getting, you know, trying to get better at pacing. So
there's a lot of like little writing flaws in this episode that I cringe. I look
could have
back.
maybe just made the scooter and
like notice that.
in. But that would have been kind of weird too.
Like I noticed like there are some like recent like comments in the on YouTube saying like, all right, as much as like this, the pacing is so slow.
I know.
Yeah. Guess how we feel making this shit.
Well, I'm glad that I was not an editor at the time of this episode.
Scene 14.
Oh my god, the gracious scene.
The scene that proved there was no god.
No, that scene proved that there was a god, but unfortunately we killed him.
He didn't give a shit about us.
Yeah, he did. Until we made scene 14.
Yesterday afternoon, around 3:30 p.m. And what about Scooter? Do you know where she was or what happened yesterday?
Fucking
Why are they so obsessed with the times when putting this together?
Fucking Fade! I'm sick of y'all just jumping on screen like a weirdo motherfucker every time you talk! Stop! Stop!
But what? I doubt she'll tell me without direct evidence. Especially if she's hiding the reason to protect her from suspicion.
She's not blinking. Oh, there's a fade.
Oh my fucking
Oh,
god.
there's another one.
Oh, there's a blink.
I see. It looks like something else has hitched a ride this time, though.
Let's see here. 2 red capes and a roll of golden silk?
Hey.
Oh my god, is that from case 1?
That's scary.
We totally did not just recolor the fabric from case 1.
Cutie Mark Crusaders?
Ah, this song.
Hey!
I had to remake this one too.
Crusading.
I'm so glad to hear this remake.
I wonder how many people actually recognize this theme as from Turnabout Storm?
No one. No one knows anything.
No, very few people noticed.
The more you ask questions of how many more...
This is the life of an artist. It's just that you put all this work into things and then people barely notice it.
Yeah, only those who are like actually like almost like those who like religiously watched it will know.
The obsessive like
yeah, we only cater to the obsessed people
who like literally like analyze everything.
Listen,
about
the fans recognize 2 themes from Turnabout Storm: Towards the Truth and Like Clockwork.
Well, I mean, those are the most memorable for very obvious reasons, so that's completely fair.
So I'm hoping when certain themes play in certain episodes, they'll recognize them. Probably. Maybe.
Okay, I want to talk about this. Pause right here.
All right. Why? What's wrong?
You don't have to jerk off to Clockwork.
This is, in my opinion, the biggest mistake in this episode was not just letting the cape that was under Water's head be there. Because I feel like, first of all, it's like so obvious that there's something wrong with the scene when you compare it to the intro, that there's like not a blood stain there. But also, this leads into, I feel like, the beginning of the trial in episode 3 to be like probably the worst part of that episode was like getting this information was the cape was under the head thing. And the only reason I left it in was because in Aljavis's original script for case 2, that's how it was that the third cape was mistaken for a bloodstain by Zecora when she came to testify. So I just left that in. I didn't touch it. And I'm only like in retrospect realizing what a big mistake that was, because it's so obvious as there's something wrong with the scene right now. and I just wish that we could have just cut like that first part of the trial down a bit, so that we didn't have to talk in circles about why there's no blood under Royal Order's head, and then have Luna present the cape, and then like after Zecora is like, "Oh, I saw blood under his head." This, it's one of those things where it's like, how many clues do you include on the crime scene to like eliminate enough possibilities so that you're not just literally shooting into the dark with like literally everything that could have possibly happened, but also you have to leave. You can't eliminate everything because then there's no mystery. It's just a straightforward answer. And I feel like this is one of those avenues where we left it too open to interpretation, especially considering the fact that it's like the entire first half of the case, first half of the first trial is dedicated to just proving that there was a cape under Royal Order's head. And it's such a waste of time, in my opinion. And
in retrospect.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
One of those things that you learn in forthcoming episodes, what worked and what didn't work. And I think this is a case where there's some of the complexity of the case was reliant on the appearance and presentation and timing of certain pieces of evidence. And by keeping certain pieces and their appearance in forthcoming episodes to wherever they were in the original, we kind of did shoot ourselves in the foot. So
it worked out in the end, but at the same time,
I mean, yeah, like what we did still works technically, but I feel like we could have cut down on it a lot, and especially for right here, the intro cutscene clearly shows that there's
blood, like
a giant blood stain under his head, and to just not have it here is just so jarring, and it's like so apparent that there's something wrong that we should have had just the cape be there and have it not be like a reveal that there's like the blood stain we saw in the intro was a cape, because it's not like really a reveal that people care about in the first place, because it's not been built up. So yeah, that's like my opinion, like the one of the biggest mistakes we've made in the case, and in fact this whole series.
We just gotta do what we gotta do and learn.
Hey, we learn from our mistakes.
Yes.
Yeah, like Athena.
Yeah, Athena is a mistake. Yeah.
Of course.
But yeah, let's keep going before we make our own mistake.
We
the
already
mistake
have.
of continuing this director's commentary.
Yeah.
One of the case was taken and not the other two. Huh?
Like, see, we pose it as like some big mystery, but it's like it's not a mystery that we ever develop. You know, it's not really one worth developing because it doesn't have any weight to it.
Lady Belle was the one who made the capes. She used some of Rarity's custom-made golden silk to line the inside.
So this Sweetie Belle, she knows Rarity then?
Of course she knows her. She's her little sister.
I wonder if she's just as dramatic and over the top as Rarity.
No, she's worse.
Jesus fucking Christ. God.
You know what? I don't think that ad should have been capitalized.
Too late now.
Dude, damn. Cancel the episode. Oh, it's too late. Just delete it.
I mean, I could technically do that.
You're right. Looks like a hook, though it looks incredibly small.
What's it been left in? Dried mud?
Looks like it.
Right you are. We're not entirely certain what this means. Or if it's relevant. We can't even tell.
It's a nice lawyer hand, bro. Goddamn.
Dude, we're so full of energy.
I know, right?
Every DC has the overbloated beginning and the unemotive middle, and then the kind of good end.
Yeah.
We really gotta like
Pattern
figure
here.
out how to make these better somehow without us
Pace your shit
dying.
out.
What is it, Twilight?
So we're figuring it out.
You saw that?
Fuck that.
No,
You know
go
what?
back.
I thought I saw like some glitch shit.
Here.
Maybe you did see some glitch shit.
What is it, Twilight?
I thought,
What is it,
Hold on.
girl?
Flexing.
Wait,
What is it, Twilight?
I thought I saw something.
no, I was just going crazy. Never mind.
Blame
You
the fact
wasted valuable time.
Just
Yeah, I
blame the
just
fact
wasted
that
15. I
they're
just wasted
okay.
15 seconds right there.
See?
These look.
They'll never forgive us, Al.
This
for those
background does not look like it was made to be zoomed in on.
These things are
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't.
Raster.
You caught them, Twilight.
That's why we shouldn't zoom in / should have 4K shit.
Yeah, that's why we're doing 4K like backgrounds now because of stuff like
And
this could happen.
also have it so that when you screen check, you don't show the canvas by zooming
That is
in a
true
little.
too.
Before the crime even took place.
I just want to know whether or not somebody literally skipped an entire sentence right fucking there, and I'm not just going insane.
Hey, what's down that staircase?
The OJ basement.
Let's just say it's something important and leave
Go
it
down
alone.
there.
Trust me.
Go down
Help
there right
us.
now. You'll
Go
see,
down there.
You'll see why you're talking right now.
Please,
the-
we've been recording this DC for 1.5 hours.
2.5 hours.
1.5 hours.
2.5, Ashley. We just reached the 2.5 hours.
1.5
Soundman,
hours.
we're not. Soundman, I'd rather be 2.5 than stuck in an hour and a half perpetually.
1 hour and 1.5 hours.
Please, bro. Listen, I know you're living in denial, but calm down.
My team and I managed to discover.
I
Well,
live in
all right,
Texas, not
we're
Egypt.
almost at the 30-minute. We're almost at 30 minutes left.
1 hour and 30-minute mark.
Familiar with the
No.
Well, we're not certain if it's connected to this crime. but we
I'm losing my
discovered something
shit watching this episode.
I hope the
of this
fans are
podcast.
enjoying our pain.
They are very much.
How could that not be related to the case?
Oh my
We
gosh, we get to
suffer-
get to the interesting part of the case. Yay.
Oh my goodness.
There's an interesting part of the case.
That's why we're insisting if it
Stop
has anything
jumping
to do
in
with
front of
the case
each
or
other every time you
not.
talk.
Perhaps we discover something we didn't.
Stop.
There's an interesting part of the case.
Welcome, Princess.
Yes, them jumping.
Private is fine with me.
All right.
Oh, look, a reprise.
Ah, one moment. There are 2 more things I would like to give you. These diagrams the police made. One of the Everfree Forest.
Oh, that looks like
How
shit.
long is Private Eye's original
That
theme?
also
I
looks
can't
like
remember.
shit too.
I think you'll find them most
Hey,
useful.
you're the one who drew it.
Take care.
Exactly.
Have you noticed that whenever the typewriting happens, the music gets louder so you can jam?
Yes.
Guys, let's go.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Why would you want to jam to this theme?
Fuck you. I make all your music louder than the rest of the music because I want to give you jerk off power.
Use it, Jared.
Wait until the future episodes, then we get some real music to jam to.
Oh my god, Twilight, shut up about the times.
Please, no.
And how much time is between each place?
We don't even really use that.
No.
We barely used it in like 2-3. It's
Which just
I
proves
hate
it was
I hate
completely
that I
completely
dedicated time to actually
time.
You
like,
dedicated time to
making,
time.
times for each. I know I did, and I hate the fact that I did it. And I'll discuss in more detail why later when we get to a certain other scene.
Where are we headed?
Oh no, not more discussing. I'm going to die.
As you can see, the director's commentary is clearly the most simplest, easiest thing to ever do, and the most non-eternity long recording that is ever created. But Soundman, be thankful that you're not editing this.
I am thankful I'm not editing this. That's why I said, hey, we shouldn't edit these.
Good.
That's what I thought too. But how are we going to get her to open up?
Well,
Hey, that was
Crack her open.
I can't
Yeah,
guarantee
got
she'll
him.
open up
Like a can of worms.
but I might be able disclose.
You don't
Yeah,
crack open a can of
word.
worms. You crack open a cold one with the boys.
It's you, Athena. Go for it.
Let's go.
Did she just punch him?
Yeah, she just fucking
Yes.
whacks him in the dick.
Yeah.
Watch for the
On
bitch.
it, boss.
Got it,
And
boss.
he's dead on the floor.
Thank you.
Don't say things like that.
Tell me, Athena.
Stupid, stupid, stupid.
All right, this is a pretty good scene.
Yeah, this is cute.
Yeah, this is a cute
This is a
scene.
heart to heart. A heart
Please
to
call me Athena.
You were just saying what you were thinking. Nothing wrong with that.
Right. So, how did you and your friends first meet?
Well, we became friends because we were the only fillies in our class that was only a gone cutie mark.
Let me exposit my entire life story to you.
Hey, it's work.
When she's resting her fucking mouth on the text box, it makes me want to die.
heart. She's eating it. She's hungry.
Yeah.
It's
Wouldn't it be
called
nice
eat-
if there was some kind of standard for where these rigs were located?
Oh my god. We'll talk about it at 2-2.
Up! Shut up!
We're like a family.
Looks at butt.
Couldn't imagine that.
Like a family.
Yeah, family of locusts.
We are going to beat you to death.
With Mr. White, Apollo, and Lucy.
We're ruining this
Other humans you were with?
heart to heart.
Strange.
Look, it's a good scene. What commentary could we add?
But I can't imagine life without them either.
Do you think that's a thing?
Too.
This is a stupid reference, the joke.
Go ahead.
That's Athena looking back on the other users of the attorney badge, just like how Deku looks back in My Hero Academia and sees the other users of All for One. One for All.
Say if it weren't for my friends,
No one's gonna get that unless they watch
No,
it.
I don't
No.
get it.
I'm over.
Jared, you're out on a branch, much like your profile picture.
Hey, that's okay. That's not me. That's my OC. She's doing fine.
I'm sure she'd appreciate that very much. But don't go getting yourself into trouble.
Adox, you're awesome.
You are Adox. If you're for some reason watching this, you're amazing.
All of our WAA guys are just absolutely perfect.
Oh boy, here comes the iconic moment that made everyone in the chat collectively shit themselves.
Where the music plays, yeah.
Yes.
Well, here we are.
So,
I'm dead.
It's the Lion King.
What?
It's the Lion King.
I'll give it that.
Or Tarzan, actually. Oh, you know what?
NES?
This is Africa by Toto.
What?
I think
No one-
we've lost Jared.
No one gets the music reference?
No.
Wow,
you
you are
guys-
uncultured.
I know what those pieces are. I don't know what you're trying to say.
I can't make any musical jokes anymore. Let's get more musicians, then I can cry.
Never mind.
Jared, your jokes ring like a staccato.
Nightmare Moon.
Da, 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 da.
Still evil.
Still evil?
Why don't we talk about this?
Why don't we talk about this? Twilight the dismissive, Twilight the gaslighting, gatekeeping girl boss.
Twilight
Alright,
keeping the
Pixar.
episode runtime down.
Twilight picks and chooses what things she wants to deliver exposition on.
Twilight cherry picker sparkle.
Statue, right? Blood that didn't belong to the victim.
Let's go take a look.
There it is.
Looks like somebody spilled some ketchup.
And that's all it is.
Or
I warned you, Applejack. This isn't really the kind of thing a filly like you should be doing.
Yeah, Apple Bloom. God.
I have to do this for Scootaloo.
It's actually a fourth Cutie Crusader cave.
You see,
It's the one that's left behind.
From anything fatal, but the real puzzle is what it's doing here in the first place.
So you really think this pool of blood has nothing to do with the case?
Hmm. Oh, wait, Athena, do you still have that forensic flashlight on you?
I do.
We're gonna have to talk about this moment.
Widget.
You want me to use it to check for any blood that might have been wiped away, right?
Exactly.
Oh my god, we're getting more use out of the forensic flashlight. After it was just randomly introduced to the first case, LG.
Yep. Oh, here it comes.
Oh, wow, I'm sure nothing bad is going to happen.
Here it comes.
Damn it, I missed it.
Right here. Nope,
Right here.
just in time.
Wait. Oh.
Can we talk about this
Damn.
right here?
Yes.
Made it just
Yes,
in
Oh my
time.
god, isn't that the gel from Portal?
Yeah.
It's the repulsion gel.
Wow Boys said, don't get covered in the repulsion gel.
We haven't entirely nailed down what element it is yet.
I
And
remember
then-
But
I
it
was
is a
listening.
lively one.
I remember I was listening to MLPArts lines for Apple Bloom like late at night, just to see if
I
everything got
wonder.
in. Then I got to this moment. I was hearing like these lines for the scene, and I was getting ready for the scream. Well, not really getting ready. I was just like, oh, the scream is coming. The first one was ah! I was like, all right, that's all right. And then you hear this scream, and I had to like, and it woke me up. And like I had to like take off my headphones because I kind of put it on full blast. And I'm like, what the hell? Can we use
have
this
a
one?
voice actor.
We have a voice actor. Like I was like, we have to like use this scream. And Pat, who was editing this scene, he had this idea. Well, I think it's not just him. But I think
It was more of
is
a collective idea.
It's a collective idea where because of that scream, we turn this moment like a lot more dramatic, almost jump scary.
Yeah, that
And-
was the goal, was that we wanted to make this into a jump scare.
Yeah, mainly because that scream existed.
Hey, Soundman.
What?
So you know about all that little rant that you said about Adobe Animate having bad audio?
Yeah.
Now imagine Adobe Animate audio scuffling up this scream and suddenly
Oh
turning
no, that would have been.
It would sound like the Half-Life scream.
The original Half-Life?
The original Half-Life. Also, G does not remember picking out this scream, so I think he does his work drunk. I think he's a bad employee. I think he has no long-term memory. How do you just forget this scream? Like, she sounds like a dying hog. This poor girl.
Jeez.
God.
It's fucking animalistic. It's great.
I would have accepted dying, not dying hog.
That is the squeal of a dying hog.
No,
It's a
dying hog
squeal.
squeal. That's a
Squeal.
scream.
That's a scream.
different verb.
I'm
That's
gonna
a
make
different
you
action.
squeal,
That-
Jared, if you don't shut your mouth.
You better put your money where your mouth is, Soundman.
Oh, I don't want to
Oh.
mention where my mouth is.
Oh my
Yeah, but you
goodness.
recorded.
I'm gonna move on before this gets way too raunchy and
You're
shit.
welcome.
This got
Let's go.
weird.
Let's go. Let's go.
Well, good to know we've brought levity to this situation.
That's just eternal trauma she'll never get over. Who cares?
Yeah. We've all had trauma before. Athena!
Well,
Has trauma.
Apple Bloom's innocence has officially been ruined.
What
Yep.
innocence?
I love this music. This is called like Shadow of the Everfree,
God,
and it's
Widget.
fucking.
No. This is the song that plays when Sayori shows up in Toki Toki Lyrics.
It is. It's pretty much the same track.
It's the same thing. You're right.
It's. Oh, I didn't know that.
No, it's not. It's not.
No, it's
just-
not. But it sounds
similar.
very similar.
Remember?
Yeah.
This isn't royal order.
Da, da, da.
I hate the music that this is. If you listen to it in isolation, it's a 10-minute track, and it's just very unnerving. And there's like voices in the background. Scary.
Unmistakably dead.
Wait.
But yeah, knowing that this blood exists, like, oh, this is someone else's blood. Like it intrigued everyone. You're like, yo,
yeah,
yo,
we
what
wanted-
the fuck happened in this
One of the
case?
things- One of the things I really wanted to play with was the idea of there being a second victim that we don't know about. Like who could the
Pause.
second victim
Pause.
Pause.
possibly be?
Because
And then we finally figured out who the second victim was in 2-4.
I've made a detail or a mention in calls, but I don't think I've ever been on the record of saying it. And I love this idea. I've said before I want to make this series as scary as possible, especially through the audio, and especially with the Everfree. And because if you remember, I can hear stuff coming through your mic. Serenity, I'm going to kill you.
What?
I was coming through your mic for a second. I was getting brain fucked. Anyways, if you remember in Turnabout Storm when they're in the Everfree, Twilight references Story of the Blanks, that 8-bit game that has the village, like the Starlight Village in the forest, and it becomes a horror game. You guys remember that?
Yeah, totally. It existed before my time.
No. Okay, it's an 8-bit game.
No, I know about it. And I've also seen the story that it was based on.
And so that's mentioned in Turnabout Storm, which means that was canon to Turnabout Storm. We expand on Turnabout Storm, so that's tangentially canon, which means there's weird shit in this forest for real. Yeah, and I love that idea. Yeah, like a zebra. So I love the idea of making it scary as shit to refer to all this unseen, horrible stuff. I love it. That's my whole note.
Like, especially with the Timberwolf intro, and like now that there's like this idea there could be like another victim in this forest who's just been, we have no idea who they are, like,
or where they went.
It's not the victim.
Who died here?
So like, where do they go? Who are they?
It's a lot of blood.
What happened to them? And of course, in 2.4, we actually do find out finally who the second victim is. It's the victim again. But yeah, I wanted to make sure we got that idea planted in the audience's minds with this first scene here, because this is like the central like thing of this case. There's two victims, two defendants. Oh my god, it's symbolic. Or something. It's a parallel.
I mean, it is.
It is symbolic.
Yeah. That's what it is. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, that's all I wanted to say.
Okay.
TheAljavis, how long is the recording? Tell me now.
It's almost 3 hours.
Fucking hell.
2 hours, 45 minutes.
Oh! Yo,
Timothy is dead.
Holy shit.
You thought you could hide from me in this forest? Ha! No such luck. Athena! Get back, you spiky-haired villain.
Can we pause and just talk about Optic before I start ripping into my music that's for the scene?
Not yet.
Now tell me, what is it that you're doing here?
I think by the time his theme comes out, then we'll talk about him.
Scootaloo for a crime she didn't commit? How vile! Hold on, I'm not trying to do anything like that. I'm trying to save her. Unlikely story. I saw you and this other creature.
He's so polite.
Racism.
That must mean you want her arrested and found guilty of her murder she's innocent of. Truly villainous act.
Alright, bro, chill.
You have it all wrong.
If I may interject.
And who would dare?
Oh shit.
Princess Twilight. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to shout at you. Please punish me however you wish.
No.
All right. I'm not going to punish you.
Chill out, kiddo, please.
Yes.
Hey.
Although,
there's an age difference.
No, I wasn't going there. What the fuck?
They were trying to get Miss Scootaloo arrested. They're villains, Princess. We have to stop them and save her.
No, they're not villains. They're trying to save Scootaloo as well.
Jeez.
They are?
Oh,
They all are.
hey, yo, they're the good guys? Oh my god.
But they're not like me.
We're all in this together.
Curb yourself. We're in a director's commentary.
Willing to let it slide.
Damn, bro.
Oh,
Curb your music.
I didn't know that.
Da 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 da. Aww.
I thought you were working against Miss Scootaloo.
It's fine.
We're turning.
Seriously hurt. Right, Athena?
Yeah, I'm all good.
Yes, scrapes from that.
Do something to my back? I am too young to start turning into Mr. Right.
While you were here, we would like to ask you a few questions.
Me?
You are turning.
Tell us about your dead father.
Royal Order's son?
Let's open up some wounds. Because you're a vulnerable child.
May be a hard time.
What's wrong with you?
But we need to ask you some questions about what happened last night.
We need to handle this delicately. Otherwise, he might clam up on us.
Delicately.
Delicate.
Athena.
Let's start with something a little bit more innocent. Since learning about him, it should be easier to approach the topic of his father. So, turning. Scootaloo?
All right. Now let's talk about Optic.
Yeah, let's praise him before I get mopey. What is this
So-
song?
I don't know. I'm not even gonna say it anymore. All right. So Optic.
Optic. I love Optic.
I
I
love
just say
Optic
that
too.
outright?
He's
Can I
such a
just say that outright?
wholesome dude.
Optic is so good. Optic is so good.
And he's a pro gamer, which
He
means
is a pro gamer.
He does-
has a Twitch
got some
channel.
world record
He
speedrun.
made a world record, a speed run world record
He
a
killed
while
the
ago.
Ender Dragon with a wooden sword.
He literally killed the Ender Dragon with a wooden sword and a speed run. Like, legit. Like that's legit turning page right there.
Yeah, if Turning Page and Button Mash were best buddies.
Yeah.
Now, if I remember correctly, he
You know,
came
that's
across
canon to me now.
Optic.
Serenity, fuck. I never thought
Optic
of
came
that
to
until you
us
said
or
it.
something? No, he posted the video.
I'll explain Optic, like how we found him. So this is a very similar thing with Private Eye's audition. Not as many people sign up for Optic, but still a good amount signed
Turning
up.
Page,
Signed
not
up.
Optic.
Why'd I say Optic? Signed up for a Turning Page. Not as much as Private Eye, but they signed up for Turning Page. And honestly, we were honestly not very impressed with the auditions because what we were looking for is a kid. Everyone just sounds like an older teenager. I'm sorry. Yeah, I wonder why. But then when we came across Optic's audition, literally we're like, this is the one. We have to take him because there's no one else better than this. Because this is legit like what we were looking for. But yeah, that's how we found
This is what our
Optic.
little knight in shining armor sounds like.
Yep.
What a good kid.
Yep.
What a good kid.
He is adorable. I love Turning Page.
Turning
He's
is
like
so good.
he's my favorite character that we've created for Elements of Justice
He is such a good character.
so far.
He's a good boy.
He is a good
plush
boy.
of him.
I
Live on
would buy a
Patreon.
plush of him.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's
I donate to his Twitch channel.
You know what to do,
yeah,
fans.
let's be
Donate's cool,
a
but the kid grows.
let's be a tier 3 sub.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No. all right.
But yeah,
Oh, wait, I have to talk about his music.
Also-
yeah, his music too.
You go
Damn
ahead
it.
with your music, Jared, before I say that.
See, the interesting thing is I love Turning, and I also consequently feel like I've let him down the most in terms of just music making. Although, I am aware that that is largely because Turning his theme is the very first theme that I composed and finished, and it definitely fucking shows. It's kind of a mess. The goal for Turning Page's theme, we wanted to create obviously a song for the son of a royal guard. This was my first attempt at largely improvising a piece. As I mentioned before with Private Eye, that was based off of a classical piece and Leighton. So, I had some patterns to work with and some previous ideas, but Turning was my very first attempt to just kind of wing it and just kind of see where it took me. And on that note, I ended up kind of using a weird kind of, mindset for creating it. I wanted to use a bass guitar to be part of his main melody because I think, and Serenity, you might have to correct me on this, there was some talk going on around about basing his theme based on an Ace Attorney character's theme that uses a heavy bass. I don't remember if that's a thing.
We wanted to base it on John Marsh's theme.
Right.
Which, I can go look for right now if you want me to.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. We can do that later. But, there's this idea of, use a bass or something like that. In order to kind of get this Royal Guard sense, I thought I would use, a brass instrument, like a French horn. And I also kind of wanted to make this idea that the song would basically be like the family of Turning Page communicating and talking throughout the piece. And I also kind of wanted to, in order to do that, actually, I had the French horn be associated with his quote-unquote father. And then the flute sounds and the woodwinds is more closely associated with his mother, Fair Devotion, who we meet later, obviously. That was kind of the mindset going in and what I did in terms of just quote-unquote planning. and that still kind of was very difficult to do due to my inexperience, obviously, and this being literally the first piece that I tried to make. Regarding the song itself, to kind of keep going here, I feel like the first half, which is largely just the bass guitar playing a simple melody while the main other instruments kind of back it up, it's a little more self-contained and a little more logical. It's the second half that I'm not happy with, and I feel like I let Turning and kind of Optic down in that sense. The second half really did try to add in that Royal Guard motif by putting in some military motifs with the marching drums and the French horns. My original idea was to have the father and mother instruments, so the French horns and the woodwinds, kind of argue it out, which is why when you listen to the piece in the second half, there's just kind of weird mixing essentially going on, where like you got the bass, but then the French horn is kind of dominating one part of it, and then in the next part, the flute is kind of dominating the French horn and the bass, and then at the end, they're all kind of tugging on each other together to kind of create this idea of a complicated, conflicted kid who is basically caught between the whims of his father and then the whims of his mother, which was kind of the point for Turning Page's character. Obviously, being one of the writers, I kind of had the benefit of knowing that that was what we wanted to do with him. So I tried to base a song based on the knowledge of what we were talking about in the writers channel and writers chats. So yeah, it's a rough piece. I fully admit. That kind of hurt, but also, yeah, I don't know what I was doing. Honestly, it's a piece that I really think suffered from having a lot of ideas that I wanted to include, but I lacked the necessary skill and experience to coalesce them together into something that was actually, kind of presentable. Yeah, that's more or less what I wanted to say. Again, it's a song that I felt was lacking. I want to give myself some credit for it being literally the first thing. First things are always terrible. I'm pretty sure we've all been there, but at the same time, I can't help but feel, 1 year into my music making career, this is not the piece that I'm happy with, and I feel kind of bad about it, but I do want to one day maybe return to it, change things up, give Turning a theme that we can both be proud of.
Speaking of Turning's whole the purpose of his character being, caught between, admiring his father and the wishes of his mother. TheAljavis, when you were designing Turning Page's character, you had the idea of the color palettes of the father, mother, and Turning himself.
Yeah, I did. Oh, I actually should mention
warm
this.
And cool colors.
Yeah, I want to mention this actually. Designing Turning Page. Of course, that goes along with designing Creative Ocean, but specifically Turning Page. I wanted to be a mix of his mother and father. So his father, Real Order, is made up of dark, cool colors, and his mother is made up of bright, warm colors. So what I did was I gave Turning Page bright, cool colors, and yeah, and that's exactly what I did for Turning Page, and I think it looks really good. I remember designing him. I was like, oh my god, this looks pretty good. But when I saw him in rigged form, I'm like, oh my god, he's adorable.
He's
You're welcome.
Being. Also, another thing I like what you did, TheAljavis, and I remember having this discussion with you when we were designing Turning Page originally, was his mane mimics that of a Royal Guard helmet. Yeah.
It's kind of like the helmet hair that you get, and it kind of suggests that he does that a lot. So that's the touch that I want to give with Turning Page's mane and tail. So
you can tell he admires his father so much. To the point where he literally carries around the broken sword that his father gave him, even after it's broken and even after he's dead. So there's so much that goes into this little guy, and I love it.
Yeah,
I also like how he makes such a strong impression on the audience. I feel with how he comes out swinging, literally. That's literally one.
His impulsiveness.
One of the first things he does whenever he first shows up in this episode. it really helps to sell. It really helps to imprint him in the audience's mind as a character to remember, because it's going to be important that they remember him because of what happens in the next episode.
Yep.
But also that he's like so quickly the audience gets endeared to him, not only because he's trying to help Scootaloo so badly, but also because his father was killed, and this scene right here where we're about to talk to him, and we get all this information from him directly after only having been like implied up to this point.
Yep.
It's so endearing, and it's good because that means we can then crush the audience with feels the next episode.
Yeah.
When we arrest him.
I'm going to call the police.
All right.
Don't.
As you're being held against your will in this DC.
Yep.
Yeah.
So let's move on before we die.
Yeah, she and I are friends. Look at this ribbon she gave me yesterday.
Another Milo investigation reference.
Another Milo investigation reference right there.
When she was confronting a pair of bullies. It means a lot to me. Bullies? Yeah, there were these two bullies who were causing trouble for Miss Scootaloo.
We made it to 3 hours, by the way.
So, I stepped in and cut them off.
What's this about, Apple Bloom?
You know, it wasn't that big of a deal. I guess the whole thing just slipped my mind.
I seriously doubt that.
Sure.
Why is she trying to hide this? Does it somehow have something to do with Scootaloo's arrest?
We all hung out for a little while after that. Miss Scootaloo and I got along really well. And that's why, later that day, she gave me that ribbon.
But
I remember seeing the premiere chat, and they're like, "Oh my god, the ribbon from MLI."
Yeah, I'm so glad people actually recognize that.
Yeah, people actually recognize the MLI references.
We only became friends after the whole incident with the bullies.
What a great game.
Also, I'm so glad Gabu and Zeus are so happy about it too.
Oh yeah, I'm so. By the way, shoutouts to the co-directors for MLI who are likely watching this.
Zeus, you are awesome. I love
Zeus is
you.
definitely watching, at least. I know
Zeus
that.
is definitely going to be watching this.
Well, she has connections to one of the element bearers. Some of my biggest heroes. How could I not know who she is?
Element bearer. Jeez, I could.
This is how a non-brony watching this series feels.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you learned of Scootaloo because of her connection to
I was never one of
I also love that smile he does.
Watch a movie prior.
Explains why Rainbow got so defensive of Scootaloo. If she's her honorary sister.
Huh. I would have assumed you two knew each other through school. You look to be about her age.
Nope. I don't even go to school.
What?
Damn.
You revealed the first extremity of
I don't need
Turning
school to teach
Page.
me a bunch of useless stuff. I can learn everything I need.
And Twilight's just like, blasphemy.
And experiencing it myself.
Base turning page? Base turning page?
I want to
Eh?
learn new things by traveling the land and discovering them for myself. That's how you really learn.
Fucking based?
I think Twilight.
And your parents are okay with that turning?
Well, my mom isn't. She's been trying to get me to go to school since forever. My father was okay with it though. He was happy that I wanted to follow in his footsteps and become a member of the Royal Guard. He spent a lot of time in Cantalot, but whenever he came home, he and I would always practice sparring. He actually made this wooden sword for me.
Huh? It looks like
Yep.
it broke at some point.
That's how that's the sword right there, all broken with a bandage on it.
That happened when I was
It looks
fighting the
pathetic.
bullies yesterday.
Wait, what? You attacked them with your sword?
Of course. My father always told me the true mark of the Royal Guard is more than their strength and bravery. It's their willingness to put everything on the line to defend what they believe in. What kind of future Royal Guards pony would I be if I didn't fight those bullies?
I guess. But pulling a sword out.
How sweet. I hope nothing bad ever happens to him.
Kids, right?
Shut up. Shut up.
So, about your father. Do you know what happened to him?
Yeah. He was murdered last night.
I'm so sorry for your loss, Turning.
It's fine. This is just... It's just another test of strength for me to go through.
Huh?
Something else my father always told me. That you need to remain strong, even in times of hardship. That's why I'm not going to cry. I won't be sad. I have to show him that even though he's...
I like how we have nothing to say in this scene. We're just
Let
it's just
Turning have his monologue.
exactly.
Okay?
Let him have his
letting Turning
moment.
have his moment.
He's out in sadness, but he's trying so desperately to
Oh.
think everything is fine. It's almost too much for me. I know he wants to stay strong in his father's memory, but this is doing him more harm than good.
If you think you can handle it, Turning, would you mind answering some
Boy.
questions for us regarding what happened last night?
Please no, this DC is already long as is.
Sure.
Thank you. Now, first off, we would like to know what you were doing. According to your mother, you weren't home when your father returned from Canterlot last night. So, where were you?
I was...
Page!
No.
And finally,
That's not Dahlia.
right?
Yes, we need to talk about that.
I'll talk about that. So here's something pretty insane that I thought of.
Swings. Oh.
So when I originally designed Fair Devotion, I originally wanted her to be a Dahlia Hawthorne pony. It was crazy at the time. Literally the only reason, the only reason I wanted that because I think it would be pretty cool. And then everyone and all the writers were like,
That's your reason for everything.
You're
Where's
right.
that Rainbow Dash clip? That's your reason for everything.
Yep.
It's a really cool idea, Al, but I mean, it just makes no sense.
Yeah,
Also,
you're
it would just
right.
be really,
It's not
it
fit
would be
her
really
character.
weird. I mean,
It would be really weird.
because I remember
We already had the private eye being the Professor Layton XP. We don't need a Dahlia Hawthorne one as well, especially
Yeah.
for no reason.
Yeah, I remember in one of the drafts before I think we threw it out. You had the interaction between the Dahlia pony and then Phoenix. I remember thinking this is really awkward, but like it was like you know how in Turnabout Storm Phoenix mistakes Applejack for a lot of heart.
Yeah.
I thought it was kind of like that, but it's the added element of that's his lover in pony form, and he's like mistaking her. I was like, that's interesting. Also, though, I think it was a good idea to just change that because I mean, even if we got past the kind of interesting dynamic there, that's all her character would be.
Yeah.
Dahlia Hawthorne pony form. I think
That's all she would
making
be.
her new in that. I think we create an interesting character.
To be fair, we don't really get much of her character in this episode. She kind of just shows up, establishes stern mother who is grieving over her husband. But I mean, obviously, we're going to get a bit more of her later. But yeah, making her just a Dahlia pony, it would have been way too distracting.
You're right.
I think it would have maybe distracted from her character too, because like all the attention would be on it's Dahlia. What's she gonna do next?
It's kind of, I feel like it's kind of like James is pushing to like make Private Eye not just Professor Layton so much, is because already having him like resemble him in appearance so much is already
giving a lot of attention,
like
and it gives people a certain, it gives a certain
just copy the personality directly is just sapping all of creativity out of his character.
A certain expectation from people, and making Fair Devotion as her own character was honestly the only thing we could, the best thing we could do for her. Also, I want to talk about her character design. If you look at turning in Royal's design, like their main styles. They're very short. They're like a little bit spiked, not spiked, but like it's kind of like messy. Fair Devotions is very like curly, wavy, elegant looking. And like I said, with the colors, Royal Order is dark and cool colors. She is warm and bright colors. One thing I didn't mention yet is their eyes. Like her eyes is actually a cool color, a cool green. Royal Order is like a bright yellow. Like it's the opposite of what the rest of the color palette is. That's even the eyes I think about a lot too. So, and of course, Turning Page is like a very bright like yellow orange. That's like, yeah. Fair Devotion. The thing about Fair Devotion is that like I was really afraid of like turning her into like another Button's mom character. Because there are already a lot of similarities with like Bun with her and Bun's mom with the main style. But I really want to make sure that that she's different from her. I think one aspect is her bags, the bags under her eyes, like just shows that she's tired or old. She's just tired. That's all she is.
TheAljavis.
You could say she's melancholy.
TheAljavis.
I could say that too.
Could we?
Ooh, I can't say anymore. Fair Devotion is one of my favorite characters in the later stages of the case.
Yeah, I cannot,
of reasons.
Yeah, I cannot wait to show more of Fair Devotion later on in the series.
I will say, people will start to really love the original characters in the second half of the case.
Yeah, I think everyone will.
TheAljavis.
Yeah.
Honestly, I kind of regret not having more of the original characters in this first half, because of how much we were able to do in the second half with the original characters.
Yeah. All right. You're gonna say MV?
I was gonna say, in regarding to what you said about the Buttons mom comment, if Julius were here, he would probably start singing "Turning's Mom has got it going on." Yes. Yes.
Anyways, let's move on right now before we sing the same song with this mayor.
Royal Order's wife.
There you are. I told you not to run off again. What are you?
Oh my gosh, it feels so good to hear Fair Devotion's voice.
I was trying to find a way to save Miss Scootaloo.
What was the game of this from?
Last Window.
This was from Hotel Dusk. Last Window.
Hotel Dusk, Last Window, right?
Stay out of the investigation.
Um,
Leave the job to the professionals. If Scootaloo really is...
Oh, one thing I want to mention, Fair Devotion's VA.
Katie. Overgrowth.
Pat's sister.
Well, I'd
like
if I'm being honest.
Should I pause? Or I can just talk. All right, I can just talk about it right here. So Katie would like periodically like show up in Pat's call with us, and then it got to the point where like yeah, I want a voice act for EOJ, and I'm like, all right, sure, try to voice. Here are some auditions. Here are some characters you want to do, and like 2 characters.
For me?
And Fair Devotion being one of them.
Yes. Or
perfect.
I was.
It's a great Fair Devotion.
She sounds so devastated.
I'm actually surprised at how different she can make them. Fair Devotion and another character that we meet next episode.
I'm sorry for
Is it really a spoiler? I mean, they know.
I know,
other one
but
we need Sugar Stamp.
Yeah, Sugar Stamp.
Sookie Stamp.
I already talked to the police at length regarding this. I do not wish to talk about it further. If you want to know what I had to say, just ask them.
We already did, but...
Then that's all you'll be getting from me. Let's go, Turning. It's not wise to be in this forest in the first place.
But...
The police will find a way to save Scootaloo, I promise. Just come back home with me. And don't run off again. Do you understand?
I do like the fact that Fair Devotion also makes a pretty strong first impression, because the audience is already by this point endeared to Turning Page, and to have Fair Devotion come and
kind of like put him down
be
a
like
bit.
this sort of antagonistic force. Yeah, to be this antagonistic force to Turning's ideals, sort of like makes the audience, puts the audience on his side, to be like, they want him
and now
to
people are like, oh, she did it. She definitely did it.
Well, that's not really what I'm referring to. I'm just
I
talking
know,
about
but that's what I've seen people say
words
that.
like to remember that she's a character who exists. Well, they say that about literally every character that shows up on screen.
That is
She's
true.
sexy. She has to be the killer.
Right.
Yes.
I mean,
Rule number one: if a character has sex appeal, they're capable of being a killer.
I
Jesus Christ.
You're
okay.
I mean, number one is if a character shows up, they are capable of being the killer.
Does that mean
at all?
So does that mean like ugly people are incapable of killing?
Yes.
Yes. Look at Oh my god, why am I totally blanking on his name? That one serial killer who had like a letter sent to him by adoring fans.
I don't know.
I don't remember this person.
Jarvy Jared?
No, he was played by Zac Efron in the Netflix movie.
Oh, Zach?
Huh?
Because do you guys not
Was
know
he
this?
Cody? I want to die. I hate this. Stop talking about this shit.
Okay.
This is my least favorite scene, Serenity. I hate this.
I hate this too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I don't like this scene.
I forgot what even is in this scene.
It's the timetable scene.
So much about this.
10 minutes to reach
It takes up so much time too.
Wait, isn't this something that would probably happen in a courtroom scene?
All right, hold on. Pause right here.
Oh my god. Pause.
Let's talk. Let's talk about how this didn't help.
I want to talk about why I hate the fact that this is so. Yes.
Oh my god.
So, like, I don't know why. Honestly, I don't even remember why I was so fixated on how long it takes for people to get from one location to another, because it's like I came to realize that this is not information that people actually commit to memory. That's why I was so like. That's why I was going on the first impression, turning the relationship between Turning Page and Fair Devotion makes on the audience is because even after the months or so hiatus between episodes, people still remember that's like their relationship. That's the thing that they need to remember about those characters. People don't remember times it takes to get between various locations, and like when this information comes up in court as like the contradiction they're supposed to point out, there's no sense of euphoria that the audience gets for being like, aha, that's the contradiction. I get it. It's sort of just like, oh, okay, sure, all right. And you just move on. It's like the whole point of like, pointing out objections and contradictions in court is that the audience gets pumped and excited because they see the flaw in the logic from the prosecutor, and they're like, following Athena's line of thinking. But with this whole time shenanigans, it's just like, first of all, it's so minute that it's mostly irrelevant. It also really gets used very rarely, and even when it does get used, it's not something that people really like have committed to memory to like actually be able to recall and be like, oh, wait a second, that doesn't make sense because it actually takes this long to get there and so.
Damn, no wonder why I don't remember this entire scene even being a real scene.
Yep.
The theories chat never.
So this is
about
this is sort of changed. This is sort of what.
The theories chat in the fan server, it never talked about these specific
because no
time
one cared.
markers.
That's the thing, is that no one cared, and they're right to not care because
it's very hard to care.
It's very hard to care because it's very hard to see why it's relevant. So that's this whole scenario here changed my approach to making clues for the audience. First of all, make the clue have an actual impression upon like the audience's memory. Like the broken scooter, people remember the broken scooter because one, it's Scootaloo's scooter. And like, it's for that thing to be a murder weapon of all things, people are gonna freaking remember that. The mark in the wagon is, an odd detail. So that's going to sit in the back of people's memories. Even if they don't quite remember what the mark is like, they probably remember that there was a strange mark there. The glass fragments, again, you're looking for someone who wears glasses. That's immediately something that the audience puts in their like little mental checklist of things to keep track of. But with the times, it's like you have no frame of reference for like why that would ever be relevant. So that's why like for like future episodes, I try to make the clues something, first of all, more tangible, something that's actually like you can see why this would be useful in some way, but also something that the audience is sure to actually remember, something that they'll like commit to memory. So,
something that I remember, Serenity, and all the writers were talking about this exact issue. And I'm glad that we are able to talk about it now. The over reliance on time, I think it's because time is actually a very easy tool to use to point out contradiction because it's numeric, right?
It is. Yeah.
If X happened at X time, and X happened at X time. There's no.
This was my math brain taking over me.
Right. Yeah. So it makes a logical sense. It's just
so like calculating out all these times.
The calculating the times is just it makes sense logically, and a computer could totally do it. It just doesn't work in a narrative that is like this.
If you were to write it down on paper and then actually work through the problem, that would probably maybe be more satisfying because it's like, doing an actual math problem, showing your work. It's not as satisfying when you just have, characters tell you what the answer is without actually having gone through the work.
Well, math, that kind of math is designed to be an abstract problem where you associate value and meaning with solutions and numeric equations and like that. And that's something that you can do. That is the magic of math. But in a narrative, it's hard to mesh the abstractness of mathematics with the natural concreteness of a good, strong story. Because it's like, what matters in a story are characters, not times. Time can influence the context of the characters, but they cannot be the characters themselves. So when you push the time stuff, I think the problem becomes that it's hard to associate that with any kind of memorable characteristic. It's hard to assign, as you said, relevance or meaning to them. And it just kind of creates this kind of artificial complexity because instead of complicated plots resolving around complicated character emotions or anything like that.
You've essentially just changed the case into a giant math problem.
Yeah, it's a timeline problem at that point. You're just pointing out that this happened in X point of the time frame or timeline, which is good, I think, for planning historical.
It would make a good word problem.
Yeah, it's a good word problem. You can, pinpoint if X happened at X time, X happened at X time, Y happened at Y time. There you go. There's a timeline. You can figure out that this happened there, that happened then, yada, 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 so on and so forth. But it's very hard then to convert that, I think, into, a strong narration in that sense, or a strong storytelling kind of problem that you present to the audience. Because again, you keep saying this, and I definitely agree. It's time, and it's not something that you conceptualize in a concrete manner. It is an abstract concept. It is not something that you can just throw out there and expect and hope really that there's any relevance to it. So yeah, the main point that I have here is that the unfortunate part of this case was that it relied on this kind of artificial complexity of time markers.
And I would say this, in conjunction with the fact that we had to spend a large portion of the first trial dealing with the fact that we had to establish that the cape was under the victim's head. I feel like these two things are what made that first half of the trial feel like a slog to get through, at least the first half of it, until Zecora came.
The timing created the artificial complexity rather than the evidence aiding in that.
There was no real satisfaction of understanding how to arrive at a contradiction or why it was, the contradiction in the first place, aside from when Athena just literally says the answer and the audience is just expected to go along with it.
Right. I think it's better in 2.4 though, so.
It is better in 2.4 because we don't rely as heavily on it. In fact, I can't recall a time when we actually do rely on it. Anyway, rant over.
Oh my god.
Between the two writers over.
Oh my god.
Now my rant begins because I want to say something.
Oh my god.
This is what happens when you have two writers in a call.
We're going psycho mode.
Are we done with this part?
No, okay.
Oh my god!
I don't like the map. I don't like the map.
Hey, thanks. I don't like it either.
It's a lot of fills. Here's what I wanted in my head that I probably never verbally communicated. I wished it was all sepia, and then you added a paper texture, and then you did like lots of lines on lines to make it look sketch. Like if it looked like an old-timey sketch. Yeah, because I like that style. Whereas this,
I do like that style too.
This is silly. And that forest line is flat. F-L-A-T. They got ponies coming in and maintaining that thing. Like, they're paid.
Hey, give Phoenix some credit. He sucks at drawing.
He didn't draw it, though. Yeah. That's the thing.
He didn't draw it.
The police did.
That's the police.
Damn, these police know that forest line is flat.
This is trash, bro. Take him to art school, bro. Fuck.
The forest line is flat like my will to live after hearing YouTube talk for 20 minutes. Now, please, let's keep moving.
20 minutes. It's been like...
Jesus,
listen. We want to make sure that the people understand that we understand that this part of the case is a problem, and we are acknowledging it.
We want
and we hate it.
Like, we're accepting criticism. We're trying to apply it.
Also, we hate this scene.
Yes. Yes, we hate this scene. So let's talk in 30 minutes about it. Are you done?
It in the chat. You weren't joking. Bro.
You understand a problem better by talking it out with somebody else.
I mean, you're right. You're right.
And then we're also going to get comments in the comment section giving us more ideas.
Yeah.
Send your Q&A to messageelementsofjustice@gmail.com.
Please.
Tell us more about the time problem. Well, time is a construct that doesn't actually exist.
It's relative.
And if you are somehow able to supersede your 3D situation, just keep playing. Why are you waiting? Why are you waiting?
Oh, wait.
You can think of the universe.
Okay, I'll play right now.
3+1 Minkowski space-time, where time is an orthogonal dimension to the first three spatial dimensions.
We didn't ask
time
to
is
play
quantized.
We did not ask to play a zero escape game.
Like time is the indivisible unit of time, many units of which we wasted.
Shut up, bro! Shut up! Shut the fuck up!
I can't breathe.
My lover is Widget.
Shut up! Don't get the drill made, Jared.
Coco eats Rupert's pebbles.
Oh my god!
This is also another part that I don't really like. No, we don't need to stop to talk about it.
Let's not talk about the mirror pool.
Let's not talk about the mirror pool,
Twilight doesn't talk about
please.
anything else. So let Twilight explain.
Oh, I also don't like.
Yeah,
how
let her deal with it.
Like a really important part of the trial. But like the way that Athena learned of it is just like it just came up randomly in conversation.
The pool will create a near perfect clone of the one reflected on its surface.
That's insane.
Can't believe I chose to talk about this one thing.
I know. I feel like we could have like gotten to this point a bit more naturally.
Those clones were causing havoc all over town. Applejack had to use her herding skills to gather them all in one place so we could get rid of them.
Wow, that sounds.
How weird is it that pony herds?
Oh, trust me, cleaning up that mess was no fun either. After the whole incident was over, I made sure to cover up the entrance to the cave leading to the pool with a large, heavy rock. That way, no pony can accidentally walk in.
Couldn't another unicorn just lift the rock, though? Not exactly what I called secure.
I guess? I didn't really have a way to seal the cave completely, though.
Well, anyway, we have no time to continue standing around here talking about this stuff. We need to go visit Scootaloo and hear what she has.
Let's get out of this scene as fast as we can.
Pick up that boulder with your magic and drop it on my fucking head.
Oh god.
Just knock me out, brother.
Keep moving. We need to get to the detention center before visiting.
Step brother, knock me out, step brother.
Please totally do.
Follow me. I'll show you how to get there.
Oh my god, we're almost at the end.
Oh, sick bastard.
Almost.
Oh god damn it! I forgot there was one more scene.
We're at 10 minutes left. We can do this,
No one
guys.
say anything for 10 minutes.
Everyone, shut the fuck up.
Yes, Applebloom? Do you think we could stop at Carousel Boutique first?
No.
Why? I want Sweetie Bill to come with us to see Scootaloo. We have to support her. Together. Is that okay, Athena?
Of course. With her friends there, Scootaloo is sure to be more open with us when we go see her. And it'll reassure her that her friends are on her side. Not that she needs to be reminded of that, I'm sure.
All right, then. We'll stop at Carousel Boutique, check back at the castle to see if we received a reply from the High Council, and then we'll go straight to the detention center.
I do like how we set up the next episode right at the end of this one. Like we literally just
you gave him a
we created a checklist of like things like the next episode needs to do.
We copped the feels moment.
You're envious?
Which is something that I really like. Something I really want to start pushing for, like for the audience's sake, is that like I want them to start being able to anticipate what the next episode is going to like contain in terms of content.
I'm glad
what can they expect?
animation. I'm glad they used that Twilight flap animation because nobody used it ever.
Time for Twilight's emotional jerk-off session.
Oh heck yeah. We enjoy emotional jerk-offs.
We
I'm homeless.
Oh shit!
Town.
Golden
Isn't
old
this
ruins.
text like lime?
Oh.
Whoa. What is this place?
Trauma.
This was where I used to live.
We all share our trauma.
Before I moved into
Yeah.
the castle.
I love April's performance in this scene.
This is the prototype of the balcony scene.
We have a lot of.
I mean, it's necessary to set up the balcony scene.
Thank you, Destro.
Yeah.
Can we get that as a trope name, balcony scene?
Yes.
TV tropes.
Mint it.
What are your balcony scenes? Anytime the characters actually rip their hearts out in front of someone else?
I didn't realize.
MV.
Twilight.
Don't even.
Quit laughing, MV.
I'm not laughing. I'm not laughing.
He's crying. It's okay.
He's laugh crying. He's crying because he's in pain.
I was crying from laughing earlier. I'm not
Why?
crying
And you're
from
crying from
anymore.
laughing.
You fucking emotionless ass bastard.
Who, Twilight? Or me?
No, clearly not. Or actually, no, maybe she is, and she's just faking it right here, right now. I would believe that from Twilight. But I
She's a purple people eater.
She's too high on lean to remotely fucking show any emotion.
Like, I drank a lot of lean and destroyed my home.
Yo, that party was wild, bro.
It was so wild, my library blew up.
We just trashed the best scenes and then stay forever on the horrible ones. Fuck.
Oh my
The
god.
best scenes speak for themselves.
Yeah, I mean, you're
the worst
right.
scenes require explanation.
I want to say,
one thing I will say about this scene is that I don't think we really needed to give the entire exposition dump of what happened in Twilight's Kingdom. We probably could have cut that down a bit.
We probably didn't have to talk about Cerberus because that doesn't even get questioned.
Yeah.
Being a princess was never something that I ever had any desire to pursue. I was just
Like this right here is the important part of the scene.
Yes.
Surely it must have been
No
for a
fade.
reason, right? I doubt Princess Lesbia would have given you the position otherwise.
I guess there was a reason. But in the end, it doesn't change the fact that the life I now have wasn't one I ever wanted.
this is what people really wanted to see from Twilight when they brought this up.
Bro, wait, isn't this entire thing that Twilight's going on about, isn't that kind of the point of magical mystery here in terms of its moral at all? Something about you getting some weird ass destiny forced and shoved on you, and it's just fucking terrible and all that shit.
I love that. I love the mistake I saw, by the way. Yeah,
Go back.
No.
I know what you're talking about. Jeremy.
I know what you're talking
Yes,
about.
it is a glitch.
Yes.
Okay.
Let me see.
Oh my! I almost put us back to the beginning.
We're right at the end.
Right there.
Ah.
She showed up for one frame.
Don't worry, we do a lot of checking for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, we also check for
Envy, what were you
fades.
saying?
Shut the fuck up.
A life you never
What were you saying, Envy?
were forced to follow.
Envy?
What?
What were you saying?
Something about magical mystery here. The fact that it's this whole life that you never wanted, but you were forced to follow. Oh, isn't that entire thing quite literally what happens in Magical Mystery Cure to the main cast?
He believed in me.
Whoa, where?
He just.
She just vanished.
He got
Envy.
mad.
Yeah, I say all that, then Better Discord decides to be funny. Yeah, that's cool. All right.
Wow.
He was going to be given the death sentence for the
I mean,
crime.
I guess it is kind of what happens to the other members of the main six in that episode. Yeah, they kind of just get forced into new lives that they aren't really
Even decided to study law.
suited for living.
Yeah, then that episode is portrayed as a bit of a bad thing, but then Twilight just gets it right here. And the show just doesn't question it.
That's what we want to explore. I mean, with Twilight in this story, it's not really something the show ever really went into.
That's good. I'm glad that's the case. It just makes me wonder why the show never actually bothered.
We are going to beat you to death.
We're gonna beat you to death.
Forced by who?
But yeah, it's like this scene right here. It's kind of telling like what Athena needed for her character arc. Like what else could she do? She did the things she wanted to do. Now what else is there? And they never brought this up for
What's
SOJ.
the next step? Yeah, Spirit of Justice didn't explore this at all, so it's up to us
to turn her into a good character.
Sorry.
We have to do Capcom's job for them.
Damn, bro.
Dude,
they're too lazy.
I hope I never see this episode ever again.
What are you talking about, Soundman?
I hate it.
Don't you want to do the watch party?
I don't even want to. I don't want to look at case 1 ever again. Ever.
I understand.
I want to look at future episodes.
All that exists is 2-3 and 2-4. That's all that exists.
Remember when this was the episode we were like super proud of?
Yeah, it's dog shit. I hate it.
It's dog shit now. 2-2 is dog shit. 2-3 is dog shit. 2-4 is less dog shit.
2-4 is becoming dog shit as we go further ahead.
I know.
Don't you say that about 2-4. Come on.
You know it to be true. Search your feelings. You know it to be true.
My feelings says they're true, but I don't believe them.
No, it is over.
Yeah, all right, fuck this.
I'm turning down the credits because they got better, but they're not here.
Oh yeah.
We re-recorded this because we were rushing and she was nervous.
Yeah.
You actually
gotta avoid that copyright.
Damn, alright.
Oh yeah,
right.
I'm pretty sure we'll get copyright strike if we actually play this.
Yeah, you do. Well, you get claimed, but you don't get a strike.
Oh. Let's talk about the art though. I mean, that's something else we could talk about.
Oh, I wanna show off my pre-visualization someday because I drew these and they were terrible, and then Gion actually drew them. Mine look like hieroglyphics.
Oh god, who the fuck is that on the screen, bro? What the hell? This Brill Slade, man, or this MLPArts guy, man. That's weird. Weird, man.
Jared, you made it through.
We wanted the art to sort of mimic the lyrics of the song.
If there's one thing I
It's an
find
anime.
funny,
Right. The first episode with Turning and Scootaloo looking in the opposite directions isn't quite clear yet. It will be more clear at the end of the second episode when Scootaloo has a little bit of a crush on Turning Page.
Oh, I didn't know.
What gave it away? Is it the fact that you gave him the ribbon and the date and the music and guys, why don't you go quiet, or you guys like talk about how guys
EC's over. Go home. Shut up. Shut up. There's nothing more to say.
All right, you can probably turn music back up now.
if there's one thing I find pretty funny is the fact that we let that entire thing play and we didn't even bother to push play on the music that we literally have playing in the background.
No one made it this far. They fucking left long ago. Fuck them.
No,
I don't give a shit.
Or they're having in the background, bro. That's the point of these ECs.
Hey,
You who are at work, You who are at work and you just turn this on because you don't want to realize the monotony of your life. I just called you out. Yeah.
If you're listening to this as white noise right now, which, I mean, let's be honest, you probably are. There's no way you're just watching this earnestly. Thank you for choosing us as your distraction.
You learned everything ever about 2-1, and you can never think about it again. Much like us.
Whatever it is you're doing while listening to this, listening, quote unquote, because let's be honest, you're probably just got sound in your ears for the sake of not being quiet.
I hate having sound in my ears. Can we turn on the music and say the objection and upload this?
Why are you not there?
Please, I want to go home. Please.
Let me out. Aljavis, he just left.
No.
I was literally called to get groceries in.
Perfect.
All right. Can we leave?
Yeah, let's get out of here. This is a disaster episode of the DC.
Piece of shit. Say
this is somehow worse than 1-3.
Oh man, at least this 1-3 we had a heartwarming ending.
At least it wasn't 7 hours.
All right, fine. Fine. Here's a heartwarming ending. Eat a bunch of French fries, and you'll get lots of heartburn.
He's actually out of breath.
Oh my gosh!
I was running. I was running.
Were you also making the weird the clog shoe sound of running that we have in this episode?
Yes.
Hey,
I cannot wait. Kid. I cannot wait for the two.
What's going on?
I cannot wait for 2-2's DC because that means we're closer to ending all this.
Yes.
2-2's DC is going to be next week.
Yeah, I can't wait for.
Awesome.
I can't wait for 2-2's DC.
Can't wait.
That gives me the chance.
I cannot wait. All right. Anyway, this is the end of 2-1 DC. Sorry that this took so long, and I'm sorry that we suck at this. But here, take it.
Thank you for watching.
Anyways, just say objection. Fucking 3, 2, 1. Objection.
Objection, your mom.
Screw you guys.